Ahem. Ooh, that is one mean cup of Java. Hello, Johnny.
Hello.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Welcome to a Cup of J2ME. This is a new series that we're launching right now. A series dedicated to Java 2 Micro Edition games. Which is to say, games designed with the old feature phones in mind. I think the kids nowadays, they call them dumb phones now. Phones from before the advent of the iPhone, Android, et al. And at a point in time, the best you could do for gaming on your phone came courtesy of Java. And many of these games that existed on the feature phones, many of them served as sort of demakes, re-envisionings, reimaginings of proper console and computer and arcade games. Not all of them. There's plenty more. There's just a whole lot of junk out there on the J2ME software catalog. But for this first episode, for a sort of introduction to this series, to this segment, to J2ME, as it were, we'll be focusing in on some mobile demakes of AAA games, maybe a couple sneaky AA games in there as well. But before we get to that, I'm going to ask you, at the top of the show, Johnny, what is your familiarity with feature phone gaming?
Unfortunately, it's not going to be very much. Growing up, I would have had one of the typical Nokia phones that would have run on the WAP side of gaming. So we're talking like Snake 2 would be the most advanced thing. And then by the time someone handed me down an iPhone, it would have been way past this era. So this missed me by. Heck, it even took me probably like a decade to even be like, oh yeah, you can do games on iPhones. It's not all shit. For a very long time, I was a hater. And then there was a couple that's like, oh, okay, no, I kind of get it. I still, there aren't many I would play. But for a while, I was just like, why? Heck, I didn't even want a smartphone for a while. I didn't understand the point of it for some reason.
And now you can't live without it, right?
Yeah.
Well, for my part, I believe my first cell phone I would have gotten in the early 2000s. I had some Virgin Mobile brick phone. I couldn't tell you what model. All I could tell you was that I couldn't tell any of my mates at school what the name of my phone was. Because if I had mentioned I had a Virgin Mobile phone, I would have never heard the end of it. And then at some point later down the line, that thing for its part like ran just like Snake, maybe a version of Breakout. And then you'd be absolutely chuffed to have him on hand. But then my big phone, the feature phone I fell in love with, was a Motorola Razr. And that one could do J2ME. And I downloaded a lot of games for it. I paid for a lot of games for it at a moment in time. Even though I had my Game Boy Advance, my Nintendo DS, there were just times where you couldn't get away with pulling out a full-on handheld, where it was somehow more socially acceptable to pull out a cell phone and pretend you were like, I don't know, like making important business calls as a teenager. They're like, yeah, sorry, I have to, I'm entering something into my contacts here. I'm checking my schedule. The work week's going to be crazy. At the dinner table.
Yeah, it's like that, or getting games put on those math calculators.
Yeah, the TI-83 era of gaming. That's another segment. That's another thing we have to figure out how to do at some point, maybe for a theme night. This segment will have sort of theme nights baked into it. Every episode of this series will showcase games centered around a certain theme, this first one being mobile demakes of pre-existing games. Later ones might be, we could do an entire episode about beach volleyball games on J2ME, an entire episode about a given franchises or IPs versions, mobile versions of their games. There might be even a few tonight that we'll revisit in future. Or, you know, you could even have, like, I don't know, an entire night dedicated to, like, damn, there's so many things is the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Every genre represented in some shape, form, or fashion. A night of movie tie-ins. There we go. That's what I was trying to think of. That'll be a good night. That's probably like 20 installments of just movie tie-in games represented in J2ME style. But
Yeah.
we won't get to those until we get to the games now, will we? So we should probably get to that main stage.
Yeah. For a specific era and platformer gaming that is probably mostly forgotten by people, it was very big business for a while. People were throwing a lot of money into this from the research we've done.
No, absolutely. And there was money to be made here. A lot of money made on the backs of folks spending $5 to download a game that would last them maybe like 2 hours. Most of these games, pretty slight, all things told, the ones that aren't just like arcade style games. But there's something to be loved here. There's still people passionate about these J2ME games. Passionate enough that there has been an effort to preserve a lot of these games. We're going to mention at the top of the show here, shoutouts to Kahvibreak, a Java 2 Micro Edition game collection in the style of Flashpoint, which exists to preserve a lot of classic Flash games and cartoons. Kahvibreak is doing much the same for J2ME. Now, I will say that we are not sourcing our beans exclusively from Kahvibreak. It is missing a lot. It is not perfect. And it does have default assignments for given games. It'll say, we'll launch this game with this emulator with these configured options. And I don't know if I agree with all of their choices when it comes to that. It would also be a nightmare of hooking into different versions of different emulators and so on and so forth. So what I'm doing is I'm ripping the jar files, the .jar files from this, and then where I can't find the games I want, where I know there are games that exist that are not represented in Kahvibreak, I'm scouring the web. PhoneKey, classic website for hosting .jar files, J2ME games et al. There are options. There's a lot out there. There's a lot out there. Which means that there's going to be plenty of episodes of this series. Boy, howdy. It's a well we can draw from again and again. And what will we find in that bucket? Coffee beans, hopefully. So let's start tonight off with one of the earlier Java 2 Mobile Edition games. This one would have been made specifically for models of 3140 Nokia phone, one of the most important smartphones of its time, one of the most iconic, and one of the first, if not the first, to support Java applications. So we are going to play a 2002 rendition of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. This one developed by Gameloft, who is a name that will pop up on this segment more than a couple of times, I would imagine.
Yeah. Very, very prevalent. Do you have a quick way to restart this? Or the front splash logo stuff?
Do you really need to see those?
Well,
yeah,
it's something I want to comment on.
Okay, all right, restart it.
Okay.
Yeah, it flies through this stuff.
Why is there a copyright for Microsoft Xbox? And it's because just before then, they tell you, hey, this is on Xbox. Which is really funny.
This seems impressive. If your socks are knocked off by this, just wait until you see it with like 3D graphics and color.
Yeah.
They did make a color version of this game. A Gameloft, that is to say, put out a version of this for later smartphones. The 3140, as prolific as it was not the best for games with its 95 by 50 pixel screen, if I'm to remember correctly. So, colors, this can only get you so far, this black and white. But look at this. Fucking look at this thing.
Nope.
Apparently that's a landmine. Well, we have a jump button, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is Splinter Cell. This is recognizably Splinter Cell somehow.
Yeah. I looked at this a bit, and I was like, oh, this comes off a little more like classic Prince of Persia. And then I remembered, actually, there is a lot of climbing and like shimmying kind of stuff in like the original like Xbox era of Splinter Cell.
Yep. Yeah, no, this was
Maybe not like that much, but definitely it's actually closer to what Splinter Cell would be than I thought first. I have to say though, the little sprite does look like you just have devil horns.
Yeah, it's meant to be the iconic visor. In fact, if I step into the shadows,
Yeah. Ah. Okay, that's sick.
Yeah. Doing a lot with a little here. Okay, maybe not a lot. It's doing something with a little. Oh. Generous checkpointing, mercifully.
Yeah. I should mention at the top, because we will see Game Loft a few times, specifically doing Ubisoft games. And why is that? I found this out for the first time.
Yep.
Well, not only are they a French company, they're founded by one of the Guillermos.
That would also parse. And
straight up, so Ubisoft just actually brought them later.
That would parse.
So this whole time they've been a Ubisoft-run company, and I never knew. Because, they still put stuff out under that name. Yeah.
Stunted. Yeah, I recognized that there was a... I played a little bit of this. I sampled each of these games, make sure they work, make sure I had these settings dialed in for each of them. I noticed that you get tracked for how many enemies you stunt, which I think is meant to be stun. But I don't think there's any actual scoring mechanism here, but it does feel good to stunt enemies rather than to shoot them in classic Splinter Cell fashion. Though I could just as easily do that.
Yeah.
If you're crouched, you use your pistol. If you stand up, you use your classic assault rifle.
I'm curious actually if they do have any of the like pipe Hannin stuff as well.
Yes, in some capacity. I think we just hung from a pipe, didn't we, in the previous stage, or this one, or?
Let me see again. I might have been checking something.
Yeah, you would have been, if you did not have a handheld gaming device, if you had to choose between having a cell phone or a portable gaming platform, and you chose this one, having something to kill time on your phone with, something approximating a video game.
Yeah, even again, I would have mostly had handhelds. I can't lie, I did mess with the pre-installed games on my Nokia. Still.
Well, yeah, you gotta get the high score in Snake. You've gotta break those bricks and break out, whatever they call it. I think they would have called it like block out to avoid the breakout copyright. Let's see if I can get by without getting shot by a sentry gun.
Yeah. This one's really, really charming.
Really ambitious. For this screen, with its 2 colors, its 1-bit graphics. I mean, we had an entire era of Macintosh gaming that was 1-bit graphics. So I guess this isn't without, precedent. Yeah. But I think Macintosh has had the benefit of a higher resolution. Computers, even in that era. Oh, am I still alive? Not anymore, I'm not. Luckily, the checkpoint is right there, so...
I was probably expecting a little too much. I was hoping when the other enemy started shooting at you while you were grabbing the other, that would have took the damage, but yeah.
Also, you may be noticing a lot of frame drops here. I can't speak to the authenticity of this. I could easily believe that this was, pushing the limits. At the same time, this phone, the 3140, or 3410, I should say, was capable of rudimentary 3D. Apparently, I read that in the research that it did have, it didn't really use it for anything outside of application for business reasons. I don't think many games were leveraging it, making the attempt. But at this point in time, by 2002, Japanese feature phones, Kai-en-tai or Keitai, I believe, We're going to toss around a lot of terminology without being experts on it necessarily in this show.
Yeah.
Not necessarily authoritative, but yeah, Japanese feature phones were killing it at this time, doing all sorts of wild shits.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is
there's
slowed down to a crawl. In fact,
there
it has crashed.
Yeah.
And may not bode well the most primitive game we could possibly conjure up, crashing just a few minutes in, but I assure you that as the games get more advanced, emulation is more keen to handle them, as it turns out. That one's a bit of an anomaly. It's awesome that it's preserved. Awesome that we could showcase even a little bit of it here. And we're not going to spend too much time on any given game here. We're going to fly through a lot of these, including our next one, which also comes to us courtesy of Game Loft. This one from 2003. This is Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. Remember that Ubisoft connection. It's
Yep.
Make sure you set the categories for these on Twitch, by the way, please.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And folk will be seeing this shortly. I also got to let a cat out, so enjoy this title screen for a second. Let's see if I can get a jingle going. Man, I wish I hadn't. All right, well.
Yeah. You'll see a common thing with a lot of these is there would either be loads and loads of versions of one game because of the many varying differences between all the phone, like their hardware capabilities, or they would just make one version built to like the lowest common denominator. Like, okay, what's the lowest spec hardware that people are using, and it's like massive use kind of thing. And yeah, like a lot of these couldn't do like sound and gameplay at the same time.
Most couldn't. And we'll also mention that, different phones from different manufacturers or different models from different manufacturers all had different resolutions, different screen resolutions. So you'll get games that are primarily the way they are distributed online. They will usually, if a resource is good about labeling these things, have the intended resolution written into the file name, like 240, 176. Like this one, for example, this is intended for 176 by 220 or 208 screens, and you could load it up, theoretically, on a phone with a different resolution. Whether it played nicely, whether it scaled or not, was entirely up to the competency of the developers. Most of the time, no. Kill all the devils who plundered them. But first, I must get back my sword. Dog, you're going to start your quest and not have a sword? Some prince you are. This is what I know is the Game Loft style. This, to me, is so many of the games we're going to play are going to look something like this, because Game Loft is so prolific, and so many of their games are very formulaic, we will say. But, at the same time, for 2003, this would have been 1, fresh, and 2, blown your fucking mind. Like, this almost looks like a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah. Though I will confirm, this is not any of the assets or from that Game Boy Advance version. I'll say in some aspects, like the actual sprites in the background is way better than the GBA version looks. It's just like the frame rate.
I've got the sword
the speed
now.
of the action. Hell yeah. Press 5 to strike.
So, what they're going for here is obviously a little more like a classic Prince of Persia.
Yeah. That's what a lot of the handheld Prince of Persia games were doing during this Pop Trilogy era. Hell yeah, yep. Click the sand. There you go.
Grandmaster. I feel pretty good about that run. I feel like I couldn't have done that any better. I feel like I did that basically perfect. All right, we're saying that we're going to get our abilities. They're hinting at us getting our abilities at a certain point in time. Once we find the sands of time. In Archer, I must watch out for his arrows, but I think I can send them back with my sword. One line at a time. They couldn't have made a bigger text box for this screen, huh? Oh, very particular timing. All right. Yeah, that'll happen, won't it? Yeah, so the movement here, not perfect.
Yeah. Don't have your rewinds yet.
All things in due time.
I legit want you to try the main console version of this. Even though I know you don't like platformers, it has built-in rewind. I feel like you'd love it.
Maybe, perhaps, one of these days. I will say, oh, can I pull? Yes, I can. Perfect. And that's what these little rocks are for. I was wondering why they put these little rocks in the foreground.
No blockers, yeah.
It's good for them. Destroy the box. I had a dime for every time.
Mm.
I was going to say that I hate classic Prince of Persia, too, which is weird because I love Karateka. Jordan Mechner's Karateka, I think, is awesome.
Oh, okay.
But when it becomes... Oh. I see what they're doing here.
They're really trying with that one channel synth, but every so often it just sounds like the phone's ringing. Yeah,
Can I go up this way?
Come with that one.
Oh wait, no, this is one of the ones that we break. That's right.
Ah, okay. But yeah, I see some people bringing up like the edgy era of Prince Persia. Yeah, that was after this.
I think they were making a joke in chat, as indicated by them saying they were making a joke.
But I'm sure the warrior within will be represented on mobile ones.
I've got a new power now. When jumping, hold 2 to walk on wall, but my energy is limited and will only recover slowly.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's very different.
Well, you know, you gotta mix it up. Oh, I see.
2.
Just straight up running along the back wall. I thought it was gonna be like running up walls.
Yeah,
perpendicular.
I imagine that could be a later
power. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if this will work. Yep, sure enough.
Yeah.
In fact, that's probably the only way you're meant to do that. It's almost like the design here is very deliberate.
Yeah.
I guess that was the end of the stage.
Yeah. That's, Sands of Time, the main version, has a lot of design like that of once you start getting the full moveset. It's like, oh yeah, you can kind of tackle these multiple ways.
There's a life increasing potion in this place. I'd better try and find it. Yeah, it would behoove us to. Whatever, use my invincibility frames, be lazy about it.
See, Yoffle in chat mentions, I think I played this one back in 2006. Yeah, that's cool to see. Again, like I said, not an era of gaming that's considered much, but was hugely popular, it turns out.
No, I'm kind of... A big reason for doing this is this one, I find these games completely fascinating. This era of gaming, deeply interesting, compelling. Secondly, there's a big audience on the likes of YouTube that will like comment on any J2ME gameplay video. You know, videos from like 20, 30 years ago. You know, real golden era of YouTube. In the 90s when they were absolutely still around. You know, like old-ass videos, and you'll get comments like as recently as a week ago saying, where do I download this? How can I get this game? How can I run this on my Android phone? And so I'm kind of hoping that...
Yeah. I'm sure people... Oh, there you go. Yeah, you've got the vertical.
Yep. Ask and ye shall receive. Though I do want to... Was there something we missed over here? Ooh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I imagine people are just hungry for this kind of, the coverage of this era of gaming because it's not that well considered by the mainstream.
And if this is what you grew up with, if this is what gaming was to you at a moment in time, as it was for a lot of people, I think that's the other thing that, fascinates me is that this is an underwritten, underdocumented era, and yet this was so massively consumed. To ignore this part of gaming history is to ignore gaming history. Well, okay, I see what they're going for. You can't really run up the wall. You just like sort of tap.
Yeah, which is funny because that Prince can actually just run vertically up walls.
Maybe that's a power up to it. Maybe they want to introduce things slowly in this.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that little optional bits.
But yeah, if you are someone, this is my immediate call to action for folk who may be watching this on YouTube, that if you were someone who grew up with this era of gaming, who has found this series, and is hoping to see some of your favorite games covered on here, let us know. Let us know some games. Give us some ideas on this one. This moving saw is dangerous. Wait! This chest looks useful. They're really spelling this out for us here.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Yippee!
So happy I can jump for joy.
Yeah.
And kill a man, too, while I'm at it.
It's interesting you've got the actual Dagger of the Sands of Time, but you haven't got the time powers yet.
There are dangerous traps everywhere. I must watch my step.
I do hope they do actually... Yeah.
This is some classic Prince of Persia bullshit.
Yep. But yeah, I do hope they do represent that. But I'm worried that, considering the platform, it's like, yeah, we can't do rewind.
I'm sure they can do it to a very limited extent. They can have it like maybe like rewind an enemy encounter or like very specifically. Bullshit that hit my hands. Yeah, I'm sure they'll find a cute way of doing it. I'm sure it won't be as exhaustive, as fully realized as the console version of it. You know, that's me being cynical about this. You know, this could be better. This could be a market improvement over the console original, for all we know.
I just think it's cool, like, how much of that version is represented here, even though it's more to the gameplay of, you know, those original Jordan Mechner games.
Could break that box, but then I wouldn't be able to get up here, would I? No, I guess I totally could, because I could just wall jump. What am I doing?
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, yeah, Sci42 chat brings up a good point that these games were 100% considered disposable, I bet. That's honestly still a problem with just games in general by a lot of the companies that make them. It's definitely a soapboxy thing, but I agree with the idea of, you know, calling the base that buys this stuff consumers, because it's media to consume, is kind of a like very anti-art way of looking at it.
But it also accurately describes the commercial reality of how the companies themselves
100%,
view consumers.
Yes. Oh yeah, I just think we shouldn't consider ourselves consumers.
I've got a new power. Double press and hold 4 or 6 to roll. There we go. I was wondering how we would stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, 2 spaces SG in chat says, I grew up with Paris Hilton's Diamond Quest on J2ME. Oh, that's more for personal favorites and Samsung phone pre-installed games. Yeah, that's one of the games I was reading about earlier. And that being at a trade show and then like getting announced under a different name and
chest and saw. Interesting.
Ooh.
I think I can dodge the moving saw by rolling. You know, you'd have to design these games with a very particular kind of consumer in mind, which is, say, one who is distracted, one who is playing these games for like 2 minutes at a time between doing other stuff that they're meant to be doing, like their jobs or what have you. So having these reminders it might be essential.
I wonder if there was also a concern of that a lot of the market would not be used to games of this complexity. Like there'd be a crowd where it's like, oh, you know, they're not playing video games outside of this, so this would all be relatively new for them.
Last game they probably played was Pac-Man in the arcades. We have to explain how a sword works to them.
Yeah.
My instinct tells me that there could be some useful items here. I better search carefully. I'm not going to get the timing on these. I'm just going to take the damage, honestly.
Yeah. I would say I'm not really a fan of this stamina system, because I don't see the point of it. like, for example, when you're doing the jumps and stuff, like, especially if you, for example, where you do the roll and it uses up your stamina, and then there'll be jumping next to you, you just have to wait. It was just wasting time.
I think it's specifically to slow your roll. I think it's like a pacing thing that they are doing. You know, which it would be cool
Yeah.
to like completely master a game like this and just like, you know, speed run it in the way that people like to do with video games these days. I hear speedrunning is very in with the kids. But you know, that might not always be ideal for a developer. They want to extend the playtime somewhat. Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh.
Fuck, so close. So close to a life-increasing potion at that.
I see Magic Meow's in chat asking if I said stamina. I've heard it both ways.
Alright, bust that. I think that's what I forgot to do last time. Instead of breaking this box, which just has a bat in it, what if I just did this instead? I wonder if we're ever going to increase that stamina magic meter. Because right now, you know, we got a whole lot of health and not a lot of, energy to exert. All right.
Yeah, bless them for trying to do sound effects with this one channel thing, but
it's like PC beeper noises from the
yeah. I would mute these real quick.
And, you know, most people wouldn't be playing with these sound effects on in the first place because, again, discreetly gaming on the bus and/or train, where if you were to play this soundscape for folk, you'd be the most hated person in the world.
For me.
Okay, give me a second.
You should be at a hill. Can you like press up on it? Down?
No.
Okay. So they knew enough that they were in Prince of Persia, but they removed their usage. It's fun.
Paying lip service to.
Yeah.
Fuck. Folks, I never claimed to be good at these games. It went. Wait a minute, that's not what happened. I didn't die. How would I be telling this story to you if I did? No, I did not get impaled by a billion spikes all at once after falling 1,000 feet. Let me tell you how this really happened.
Okay. I wonder if the gimmick is this specific screen is going to be you'll increase the blue gauge and then you'll better jump up that long vertical shaft. Yep.
My energy limit is increased. And
also, yeah, Pepperly points out...
So.
Yeah, Pepperly points out that the checkpoints are just doing the rewind, essentially. Yeah. I was really hoping it would have been, you know, the literal rewind of the main game.
Should also be mentioned that you'd play these on a numpad. Would have been your primary input mechanism. So I'm playing these as much as possible using my keyboard's numpad, which is, of course, inverted from how a keypad would have been presented back in the day. So, you know, I have it bound as like 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 6.
I remember when I was first learning about fighting games that use number notation for the directions. And it seemed wrong to me because I was thinking of how a phone lays out numbers. And then someone pointed out, oh, no, it's how a numpad does it. I was like, oh, okay.
I've taken back all my powers. It's time to finish this all. Are we going to finish the game? Is this...
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, as I said, some of these games are brief. Some of them real brief. You know, it's brief enough also that you could, you know, there's a replayability that comes to, an intuitive replayability of how quickly can I finish this game. And I noticed there was a high scores option on the menu. So there probably would have been an element of uploading your best times to the leaderboards. Which is all it took back in the day to qualify your game as having online functionality and for people to be impressed with it. Yes.
Oh yeah, it was that. Yeah, it was that, or it was the mail buy style that a lot of games were doing in the early days.
Yeah, stuff very much inspired by the era of chess by mail. There was an XCOM game that was by email, a multiplayer XCOM
Yeah.
game. All sorts of weird distribution methods for video games at moments in time as technology emerged. Magic Mouse in chat asks, how often do you use the numpad? I use the numpad every goddamn minute of every goddamn day I'm on a computer. I always prefer to type numbers on the numpad.
When I had to replace my keyboard and I upgraded a decent one, I did have to save some money by not getting a numpad. I do miss it a bit, but I get a bit more desk room, so it's kind of, it's I break even.
I have to remember that ability existed.
Yeah.
See, we're taking all the tools that we've picked up. They're now all being put to use.
Yeah, I'm not doing enough number crunching to need one. And when I eventually get a Stream Deck, that will service the same use. So I'm good. Hey.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know how to use a numro. Doom taught me how to use a numro to switch between weapons on the fly.
Yeah.
So I'm experienced either way. But if I have the chance, I just can't imagine a keyboard without a numpad. It just seems wrong to me. It seems lacking. It'd be like a mouse without a right click. All right. Good luck to me.
Oh yeah, just quick roll. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely say if you ever, people out there want to get into playing these preserved like mobile era games, for some of them, having a numpad is the preferred way to play. Specifically, I think of the Engage SSX Out of Bounds, because it uses every numpad to do a different trick. So you can't really map that to a controller or like other keys easily, because they expect you to have access to, to all like 9 buttons.
Not to mention all the button prompts in game will invariably be phone keypad notation.
Oh yeah.
Now, granted, we're using K emulator, which is the best emulator of J2ME games at all. Fuck it, I'm just gonna pull it across. Specifically, there's a version of K emulator called NM mod that is more actively maintained, and that seems to have better compatibility for stuff like 3D games. Which, yes, there will be 3D games that we will cover in the course of this series, in the course of this episode, even. Oh, yeah. Generous checkpoint. Downright magnanimous of them to put it right here. Almost as if they knew. Almost as if they focus tested these games to such an extent that they could account for what 95% of players were going to experience at any moment in time. That's the big trick, to a game like this, which is impressive in its presentation. Seems to be doing a lot with its gameplay, but, at the end of the day, this is incredibly linear, incredibly, predicted. The developers knew exactly, how players are going to engage with this game on a moment-by-moment basis and accounted for every second of gameplay. And that kind of becomes part of the game loft style, as I called it. It's games like this, with movement like this, and button prompts, the likes of which we saw, with text cut-ins intermittently, and just... experiences that seem like you're doing a lot, but it's all very much, set in stone. There is only really one way to play the game. None of these games really allow much in the way of player expression, let's say.
Yeah. It's still funny to think about learning this stuff about Gameloft, because the main thing is just, I remember in the late 2000s, early 2010s, just having a really bad reputation in gaming pundits and things like that. It was like an automatic, oh, Gameloft made this, it's trash. And it's actually these early efforts are kind of impressive, comparatively.
By the way, no leaderboards here. I hallucinated the leaderboards for this game in particular. But we can look at the level screen and guess there's probably 10 levels in this game. We could theoretically finish this, but we got more games to get to.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And with any of these games, if you are so inclined to play them for yourself, most of them on Kahvibreak are otherwise easily accessible enough. That will do it for the Sands of Time. If I hit exit, this will close out the emulator completely.
Yep.
Which is a fun little touch. Okay. Another year, another set of games. And what could be more AAA than Call of Duty? Now, this is granted, this is the Call of Duty 1 era, where these games were not necessarily the biggest thing in the industry, where they were just kind of niche World War II shooters with a lot of like set-piece driven stuff from the ex-Medal of Honor guys. So, you know, at least it had that pedigree going for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Kind of
absolutely
the, like...
none of that is going to manifest in this. Give me just a second here.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not niche. I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but it was definitely like the connoisseurs World War II one. Like, yeah, Medal of Honor was the bigger one, but it's like, oh, if you're really in the know, you know, like Call of Duty was doing more interesting things on PC. But I want to read this earlier comment from Yoffel mentioned that mobile games were usually advertised in magazines. I do remember my official PlayStation magazines advertised a lot of that. And they were purchased by sending, SMS with codes. Yeah. I think we're in the era now where it changed, but apparently early on, like, developers weren't even making money, technically, from these because the games were played with minutes, and that was just going to the
Providers.
Yeah.
So this game, straight away, I want to mention it was developed by a studio called M-Forma. I would like to keep track of all the developers and publishers we encounter in the span of this series. So let's mention that. Let's also mention that this game recommends a squad-based shooter. It even suggests that you should probably bring these units with you. So I will do, as they say, bring one of each of those. And then, that looks good to me. I mean, it's literally what they told me.
Yeah, but, you know, it makes sense because doing real-time action was still very hard on most phones this era. So something... Oh, okay, it's not quite as tactical as I was expecting.
Ooh, there goes my first guy. Oh, I am stuck. I had to... well, I think I may have fucked up there, because I think I blew us up. I had to switch to my engineer, who has access to C4, which, yes, you need to bust into this.
Oh, yep. Magic Mouse said what I was thinking, that it looks like Akari Warriors. Like, even the...
It's more like Commandos, the classic Commandos franchise of real-time strategy.
Yeah, the gameplay is closer, but for some reason, just like the way the sprites are drawn and like the diagonals.
This one's tough. Credit's due. This is tough.
Yeah.
Oh, let me switch units. I want to switch to the Commando here, since they're an infiltration specialist, which I wonder if that means that I can maybe move a little bit closer undetected. God willing. I can also issue orders to my team.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was
follow me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering if there was like a formation button that would have made like getting through that without getting stuck easier.
You know what? Take cover. Actually, you know what? Don't take cover because I'm about to plant C4. And no, I don't want you taking cover there. Basically, I want them to take cover behind the sandbag. Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, now let's switch units to the one who can actually do this.
Yeah.
Then get out of there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure... That's probably not an emulation issue, the little red boxes.
No, that's how you can see enemies through the walls. They're deliberately doing that so you can keep track of enemies.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah. Because a part of me was thinking, like, would you want to surface that info? Would that maybe be too easy? But it's like, no, probably, yeah.
You know what? You guys handle this. I have 1 health. They can run and gun in a way that I can't, so honestly, they are better equipped for fighting than I am. I say as they take damage. But, there's discussion about, like, M-Forma in chat, because I know someone speculated they were a publisher, not a developer. But they were the credited developer on this, to be sure. Because, I mean, Activision wasn't making this stuff in-house, I can tell you that much for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll definitely say for the history that there was a lot of companies merging and being brought up and names changing and things like that.
Oof.
So there's a good chance that, you know, a company brought them, renamed, became publisher, that kind of stuff.
I lost my engineer,
And
by the way.
very global as well. Like, there were specific, you know, European, UK scenes. Obviously, we mentioned the Japanese one and you know, US.
Get a little closer to your mic, by the way.
Yep. Sure, yeah.
Oh, I just walked right through that wall. Maybe that's the commando specialty, is that they can just walk through walls.
Well, I assume that's
doors,
supposed to be
yeah.
a gate, yeah.
Body armor?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see, can my soldier use a grenade? I know I lost my engineer who had the C4. Oh no, my stupid commando walked up to the door and got blown up. At least it showed that the grenades do work. That I can use a grenade to blow up a... Oh my god, we're so close, too. I'm gonna have to use these grenades. To great effect. There we go. Please be the end of the level. Please, please spare me. I know I should not have lost my units by this point. I know I am bad at the game, but...
Yeah, I was hoping this was a big flat wall, and it's the ground. Oh yeah, Jojo really seems to say something nice. Honestly, this is a pretty cool take. It's obviously...
not the thing that you're coming to Call of Duty for, but it is a reasonable facsimile of a World War II style of shooter.
Yeah, it's not specifically Call of Duty, but considering, you know, the platform, hardware you're working with, this is a neat take on it. And I like to kind of represent, you know, to try and represent some of that early Call of Duty style design, that it isn't just, you know, Commando, Akari Warriors, like run and gun. Like, they try to, you know, they built that squad stuff into it. But yeah, Management points out it does seem very hard. Yeah. I imagine with a lot of these, they're probably short, but hard kind of thing of just like, yeah, you're going to be replaying these levels a lot of times to figure them out.
Healing. You know what? I'm going to pick a not recommended party. The commando seems pretty useless. You can only take one of each unit. So I want a medic.
Yeah,
I want the engineer for the explosives. And, you know, infantry was actually pretty good with their grenades. So we will try this.
Yeah.
Back to the damn
It's funny you
beginning.
mentioned XCOM. So I've been playing Enemy Unknown again. It's like, oh yeah, it's just like me picking out my squaddies.
Hey, medic, heal me. I switched.
I wonder, yeah.
Healed. I think it was as simple as walking up to them.
Yeah.
Ooh, that rules. That changes everything. That makes this game way easier, as it turns out. Why would they not recommend a medic for the first mission?
I guess it's one of those things where if you do lose the medic, then you're sacrificing a lot of firepower and capability like that.
But yeah, to fill out the say something nice, for my part, yeah, no, I would get a lot out of this. I would have, at a moment in time, you know, me being the lapsed Call of Duty fan, not have been like, wow, this is just like playing Call of Duty, but I would have been chuffed to have a game like this that is, you know, reasonably difficult, that it seems like reasonably challenging for its part, while letting me mow down the Nazis. I don't know, this isn't bad. This is one of those shows where not every game we're going to play is bad. Just to be clear, even though we are the Bad Game Hall of Fame, we do occasionally enjoy good-ass games. And
yeah. You know, but also in the wider gaming sphere, a lot of them were written off as just bad because they would be more limited games in general, and it's fun to highlight them and say, no, if you look at them within their context, within their means, there's genuine enjoyment to be had.
And also, don't worry, there will be bad games in the course of the series, too, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all this stuff was gold. Wait, how am I losing so much health? As my medic, no less. You take charge. Oh, no, fuck. Well, there goes my grenades. Okay, medic, you take the med kit. And then heal him up to 2.
Yeah. Trying to like there seems to be some rules on how the medic works, but there's not like a counter for medkits, so I'm curious.
And I will say that it's very easy to mess up the inputs in this. If you see me making like a bunch of dumb, bad moves, it's because playing games on a numpad is not the most intuitive of control schemes, as it turns out.
Yeah.
It made sense at a moment in time for these particular games, and where these games are certainly designed around these limitations and so forth. But
yeah.
It's hard to rewire your brain sometimes, regardless of that.
Yeah, we've covered the system before. It's not going to be part of this, but the Nokia N-Gage, one of the huge issues with it was that it was using a numpad still, and trying to play games on that, from what I've heard, rough.
From what I can testify to, rough.
Yeah. Like I messed with that Nokia N-Gage conversion of Tony Hawk's 1, and when you map those buttons to emulate the Tony Hawk's controls on a PlayStation 1 controller, it's like, oh yeah, this seems good. And you have to remind yourself, well, yeah, but this is not how anyone
would have been able to engage with it. Yes.
Yeah.
It appears we've reached a stalemate. Come on, we have to be nearing the end of this level.
Yeah, I will say that these levels seem maybe a bit longer.
Long in the tooth.
Than they needed to be. Yeah.
Yaffle asks, were N-Gage games still made with Java? No. No, I do not believe so.
They had their own tech.
Now, if you want more information about the N-Gage, check out Stop Skeletons from Fighting's video on the N-Gage, which I wrote.
Yeah.
I wrote that video. One of the several videos I wrote for the Skeletons.
Yeah, great video.
Thanks. I worked hard on it.
Yeah.
So did Derek, presumably. It's
yeah, well, you had to film all the hand cam stuff, which I've done recently, and it's not easy.
Made it to mission 2. Recommended infantry, sniper, and medic.
Oh, he's well asking. I thought Johnny only played on real hardware. I like to. It is definitely not always an option. Oh, right, yeah.
Right.
Two Space reminds me. Yeah, the N-Gage was Symbian based.
Yes. And then the Zebo was Brew, which was another mobile architecture for this sort of stuff. Another system design.
Brew, what you gonna do, dude?
Did I just lose both my fucking guys?
War is hell.
Let's see what sniping looks like. I have a feeling I know what it's gonna look like. Oh, no, I thought it was gonna be like sniper still on screen. I just press it, and the nearest enemy dies. It just locks to it and kills him in a single shot. That's handy. Too bad I only get 5 bullets for that ability, so... This seems like it could be handy in a pinch.
Yeah. It's cute also that for the mute, they couldn't really do music, presumably, so they've gone for this, like, short, combat noise loop. It's cute, but also, much like the previous one-tonal take on sound effects,
gets old.
It's tiresome, yeah.
Oh, that's right, Sniper can only have 1 health. That's another downside of them. Glass cannons, if you will. Now I can go back in. Whew. There we go.
Oh, okay. I'm going to read this because I didn't know this was a thing. So 2 Space SG mentions they've done J2ME speedruns on Nokia phones with composite capture. The capture is not the hard part. It's the numpad control. Yes. But that's fascinating to know. Because, yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure how viable, like, Nokia N-Gage capture is, for example.
I'm not sure how viable me playing any more of that Call of Duty game is at this current juncture. That's legitimately challenging. That is legitimately tough. Legitimately.
Yeah, seems deep, but
kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe tad too difficult.
And, a thing that we will be doing that I did earlier, but I'm going to do again, is look at the About section for these games, get a sense for when they were released. Not all the stuff is always tagged. Not all the stuff is always tracked on databases that are trying to put the stuff together. But you can see here, copyright 2003. You see the et M forma. You see these developer credits. By this point, people were putting their names and credits for games. We're well past the arcade era, so you can see some of these people go on to do things in the proper end of the industry. And yeah, Game Code Software, copyright 2003, M Forma Group, produced by M Forma Europe. So yeah, if they became a publisher, they probably started off doing development as a studio, or maybe just did a little bit of both.
Do you remember that song that was made in celebration of this company?
Oh, shut up! Don't do a snow joke. That's not a.
Got shut down.
We got more games. How about another one from 2004? How about one that maybe doesn't meet the AAA criteria, though it was a game that was published by Square Enix at a moment in time. But the original developer, Kavia, I don't think it's responsible for this J2ME conversion. I believe it is Macrospace who will bring us 2004's J2ME version of Drakengard.
Yeah, I'm not sure
you
how
didn't know this
work.
existed, folks. This is going to be a strange one. Something tells you it's not going to have all the same story beats. That it's not going to be able to do everything that the PS2 version could do. But
who knows? It might have like 6 endings.
Drakengard is 2003-2004 Kavia Inc. Co-developed and distributed by Macrospace Limited. Yeah, we'll start a new game.
Yeah, Majval's rightfully asks how this fits into the Draconeer canon. Yeah, I need to find out.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when the goddess calls for you? Boxed in by the Empire's lackeys, Kame storms the castle of the goddess. Quell the Imperial troops that swarm through the castle. Lord Kime! The Empire is strengthening its siege. We must strike at them now. Don't mind if I do.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, for people who have never seen the actual Drakengard games, and this is going to be a bit reductive, but they're essentially in a similar style to what Dynasty Warriors was, in terms of like the big fields, lots of enemies that you're taking out, that kind of style of action game.
But storytelling, as told by the guy who would go on to make Nier in one Yoko Taro. So this game throws dark, to say the least.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned it has 6 endings, where every ending you get, every progressive ending you get, and they are like locked behind like ridiculous requirements, is more and more depressing than the last. This is a feel-bad fantasy. So how much of that is going to translate to the J2ME?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see.
Aldir Edouard21 says, stand by their opinion that Yokotaro is a hack. Have you considered the video where he rolls around on the floor with a t-shirt and says Square Enix shit?
I mean, that's art right there.
Yeah. Checkmate. Ghost of Godast asks, is Drakengard the one with the weird space baby ending? I've not played either of them. I'm going to assume
one of the
yes.
endings has, yes. If you're talking about the fight in the city against the rhythm game section of Drakengard. Yeah. I believe that's a big old baby.
Oh, here we go. We got some big facts here from 2Spaced SG in chat. So in this game, you can dash by pressing asterisk, or it was maybe hash. But on the Nokia 176 by 208 version, it only worked when playing on Simian SX1s. Otherwise, the button is not mapped.
Yeah, not
There's
mapped
also a
here.
Motorola. Yep.
I believe this is the 176 version we're playing right now, so...
Yeah. There was also a Motorola version and a Sony Ericsson version, and in those the button is mapped. And I don't remember the specific names, but I remember looking stuff up. But I know Sony Ericsson were also just straight up running different tech. They were not using Java or Brew. They had their own thing.
I figured out the strategy, by the way, which is just hold forward in the attack button, and as part of my auto attack combo, my auto combo, I have a projectile attack that seems pretty effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever gets us through it.
This is their attempt to like represent like the mass amount of enemies. So, like, yeah, we could do about like 4 or 5. We could do like what Final Fight would have been doing back in the day. You know what? You've got the 2 meters, right?
Yeah.
What are they doing exactly?
Top one, I think, is how many orbs we've picked up for experience and such. I think the bottom one is a boss health meter. No, because the boss has their own bespoke, so I don't know what the bottom one is.
Yeah, well,
and I think
I'm
the
trying to
icon
figure
on
out
the
if
left
they
is our health.
incorporate.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if they incorporate, you know, the Draken of the Drakengard.
Spoiler, I believe they do.
Ooh.
I recognize this song. I'm taking musical cues.
Yeah, it's cool. And you earn XP.
I wonder if we'll get a version of what's the theme? Broken Wings, Darkened Wings, Something Wings. One of the most unsettling songs in a video game. Rules.
Sadly, Drakengard I gotta learn more about.
Kane mounts the dragon. Who's the dragon? Yeah. We haven't met them yet. We don't know who any of these people are.
Oh, you know.
So again, the games of this nature were not going to give you the full story because they wanted you to experience it on console. These really existed primarily at a moment in time where they weren't really, making money if they weren't the ones making the money off of it. These existed to sell you on getting the console game, that you'd play this, get a taste of what you would have in store if you were to get the full product. Humans are a species to be pitied. No, that's...
So
poor man's Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
But they tried.
Yeah. It's neat to see.
I wonder how long this will go on for.
Triple AAA in chat saying I take this over the Megapixels remake. It from my understanding, runs about the same.
15 frames per second, huh? That's impressive.
From what I remember seeing, it was about that, at least at launch.
Folks, check out our House of the Dead remakes episode for more on Megapixel.
Oh, yeah.
That's another well we'll draw from again on the main show. Countdown that experience. Ooh, destinations.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just going back to the first stage, or...
Oh, okay. Well, I'm assuming... Okay, you're earning XP. I'm assuming there must be a way to spend.
Lord Kime.
So maybe there's an incentive to replay levels?
The Empire comes also even here. Yeah, the original game had plenty of incentive to replay levels, so...
Oh, sorry.
I think there was a shop. Was there a shop option on the menu that if I were to back out of this, I can maybe, upgrade my weapons or something? Or did I hallucinate that again? It's not hallucination. I'm confusing games for one another. Because, again, I sampled all these games. I'm trying to remember which ones have which features. Also, there is one problem with doing the series, and that is that there are so many goddamn J2ME games that were spoiled for choices and putting together our themes and putting together episodes. I started with a list of 50 games, and I whittled it down to about 15 for tonight. And you know what that means. That means we will revisit this exact theme at a later point in time, or find some variation thereof. It means I will probably revisit games in the course of this as well. This, I mean, for as many games as there are ones that are gonna fit like so nicely into certain like categories and themes and stuff. Oof. Ooh, new enemy types. Well, luckily this works just the same. The strategy seems to work fine. You know, maybe some of the other weapons you unlock won't have this auto combo. Will have a different combo. Yeah, yellow is health. I don't know why I didn't think it was. It clearly is. Because it goes down when I get hit. Oh, sorry, are you sick of the instrumentation on this yet?
I think I just have a lot of nostalgia for MIDI stuff. Like, it's definitely a bit repetitive, but
so is Drakengard on consoles, as it turns out. But
yeah.
Full Girl Boy says he kind of looks like Chris Deltarune came in this. The dragon is actually Susie. We're going on a grand adventure, and by the end of this, we'll actually begrudgingly respect each other. And then by the end of Drakengard 2 J2ME, they'll actually be friends. Toby Fox has done it again. Oh, I'm not gonna get this, am I?
Like, yeah, in my head, these could be songs that's in someone's like custom Doom WAD.
As long as I keep getting it, no, well, nothing gold can stay. Ooh, new high score. Can I just use the keyboard to type in? Yeah, I sure can.
Oh, I was expecting that. I was expecting you have to do it like old school texting style.
It's not letting me enter it for some reason. Oh, no, maybe I need to use a different key. Maybe I need to... You want to upload your score? Yeah, let's... Nah, no dice. Oh, I did put in the previous names. It just let me enter it. Oh, wait, no! It's multi-line. I enter my name as Cassidy Came City Came. C.
Interesting.
Player status. Stage is cleared. Player level. Max HP MP. Can I go to a shop? Can I do something that isn't one of these stages? Or maybe the grinding begins now, because I wasn't doing any damage to that boss.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just like, you know, they really expect you to get past that level 13 before you would even attempt level 2.
Ooh.
And so it goes. I didn't think there'd be grinding to have to worry about in a J2ME game, but alas.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
to extend gameplay though, so.
Yeah, this is fascinating, the fact that this even exists. That it shows that Square Enix were willing to play ball and throw stuff against the wall to market their games, even a game like Drakengard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd be curious to know if they had one specific to where Japanese, you know, feature phones were at the time for the Drakengard series.
Entirely possible. Keitai, even worsely preserved than this J2ME that
oh,
we're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at.
Yeah, there's like the last Silent Hill game that was actually written by the main writer of like 1 through 3. We essentially don't have. We only have like story synopsis because no one's backed it up. At least last time I checked.
Wonder, do I have a block button? Do I have any means of, I got this jump attack, and that's wonderful. 1. Okay, there we go. 1 and 3. Oh, great. That was super fucking useful.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some cool ideas here, but yeah, very shallow and basic, some of it, like especially the way that blocking look there, the guy's just bumping
I leveled
into
up.
you. There you go.
I leveled up from
You
1
did
to
level
2
up, yeah.
finally. But now I have to do this again to presumably...
I like the dragon shit talking you. I guess that's them preserving some amount of that dark fantasy writing.
No, she's super cool, the dragon in Drakengard. I love them. The romance with Kame, and that is, like, you know, to me, like, the centerpiece of the game, the thing that, like, you know, the running thread is this begrudging respect they develop for each other, then clearly, like, you know, they're so, like, attached at a certain point. They're symbiotic at a point. Play Drakengard, or, you know, don't. Maybe don't play Drakengard. Watch someone play Drakengard. Or just watch the endings, like the cutscenes or whatever. Maybe not a game to be played so much as a game to be observed and appreciated, possibly from afar.
I mean, I'm the sicko, so I probably will play it. I've actually played a little bit of the third one, but I stopped because I was like, I should go back and play these earlier ones.
I want to try stage 2 again now that I'm level 2. See if we can just make a little more headway in this. Yeah, I think we're hitting these guys faster and harder.
Yeah.
And they're not even damaging me. They're not even taking off a tick of my health as they hit me. Damn, level 2 is, like, a lot. In the grand scheme of things, in the progression of this game. Makes me wonder, this game might not be particularly long. Which is maybe why they put the grinding element in.
Yeah.
Alright, maybe I took a little bit of damage now. These guys.
Yeah. I don't think they'll come up today because they're original titles. But, you know, reading about some of like the notable games from this era, and some of them would be genuinely like one-button games where they're built more on, you know, you think of like the kind of gameplay like a Flappy Bird style game is Copter, like that kind of complexity of like boiling down to like the most simplest input, but something that a player wants to keep up, like idle gameplay, even not idle. How do I say that and not sound like
Just
they
say
sound the
casual
same, don't they?
games. Just
Sure, but I'm thinking like some, you know, where you're like earning a currency, or you know, the way you're running XP in this.
clicker games. Are you thinking about?
Yes. Yeah. I think there were some early stuff like that on these platforms where developers were building for
Jesus, this
the
is still
really
hard.
low end spec.
Yeah, the block
Yeah.
doesn't. The block seems functionally useless.
Yeah, and with the limited animation, it's not really a tell.
Let me just go ahead and Came. Let's just put a more regular name in, like Bad. Even though this wasn't bad necessarily. Let's check out that player status. It'd still be stages cleared, player level 2. Yep. So some amount of progression in this. I wonder if you even sniff the other party members in this. I wonder if you even like get an ending in this, or if it just says, and see the rest on PlayStation 2. We promise there's more to it than we were able to show you here. That'll do it for Drakengard for now. Curious fucking thing, though. That is curious to be sure. You might also be curious why we picked our next game out in a AAA games lineup. And it's because I know this one's going to pop Johnny. This is Marc Ecko's Getting Up, a 2005 J2ME game by way of Glue Mobile, GLU Mobile, who are another prolific producer of J2ME games. Tell the folk at home about Marc Ecko's Getting Up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is a personal favorite of mine. This, like, weird... It's kind of like if Prince of Persia was set in modern times, but you know, with graffiti culture stuff in it. But also Big Brother is going on. It's a very strange game, but I think that's why I like it, because it's trying to be like real and represent the culture, but then it's got this like batshit story with our boy Train here. He's just trying to get up.
Oop, no, I didn't want to go right into the game. I wanted to go into settings first of all, make sure.
Oh, vibration as well.
Yeah, they would use your cell phone's vibrate feature
Yeah.
for sort of pseudo force feedback, which is very cute. Instructions controls, always good to look this up. Run train around the level by pressing 4 or 6. To get higher, press the 1, 2, or 3 buttons. The longer it's held, the higher train jumps. Jump into a wall and train will wall slide. Ducking slide. I don't see anything about attacking in this. Yeah, I'm just quickly scrolling through. I know how this is more or less played, and it is interesting. Yeah, let's... Oh, right, I want to go into the about. Glue Mobile does not condone criminal acts of any kind. The console version of this game has been giving a rating of 16+ across Europe. Marc, Ecko's getting up. Atari, Ecko, but yes, developed by Glue Mobile. Very cool. Let's hope the game holds up and is also cool. The old Radius Village. Now, I'm assuming the Toy, Writer, and King are like a difficulty select. I cannot select anything above Toy at this current juncture.
Yeah. They were allegedly, according to the game, like era-appropriate graffiti slang for like how renowned you were.
Fuck.
Also, I saw earlier. Yeah, I'm Head will ask if these are going to be midified licensed tracks, and yes, I think that's what this is.
Karen Light here. These so-called artists steal or rack spray paint cans to color their world. They roam the city until they find the perfect place to make their mark. So you may notice the black background here, conspicuous black background. And every time we pick up a spray paint can, it fills in the background. I saw a comment from 2 Spaces SG who said this looks incorrectly emulated so far. No, this is the mechanic of the game, is that you're meant to see nothing until you pick this up. It looks like an emulation error. It looks like it loading in chunks in the background. It doesn't look right, but you know, they weren't developing with emulator folk in mind. They were developing with a. Experts say jumping requires releasing other keys and then holding up on the keypad. That's a stretch for a news report for trying to organically disseminate this tutorial information. If they're gonna, if the comment is they're saying nah, is it because it's running too slow? Because I ran this at 30 frames per second and that was too fast. So I turned it down to 15 frames per second, which is something you can do in K emulator. And I think most phone games of this era run at between 10 and 15. I'm sure if you had a super phone that could run it at 30 frames or just uncapped frame rates, that the game maybe looked a different way, ran a bit fast. I would probably argue too fast. This feels like the speed this was meant to be played at, the reactivity that you could reasonably expect a player to perform. What?
Yeah, at least like watching the gameplay, this seems close to what would have been intended speed. But yeah, like when I first saw this, it was the idea I got from it was it's not a reinterpretation of how the console game played and structured. It's like a abstraction of just what graffiti is.
They're
like,
coloring their world.
Did they not know what graffitiing is? Which is funny because I know for a fact that TRN graffiti tag is ripped from the console version.
I don't know why I'm going for 100% completion here. It probably does not matter if I get that last can of spray paint or not, but it matters to me.
But, yeah,
I want to color my whole world, you know.
But with the momentum and the sliding and some of the way this is laid out, this reminds me of Fancy Pants Adventure. Is that the name of it? It's like the early Flash game that was like hand-drawn scribble style.
I'm sure there's more than a few of those.
That eventually got like a proper console game.
This is doing our main tag.
Yay!
They've abstracted it as
Hell
a
yeah,
Mario
you did-
Bros. Arcade bonus mode where you have to collect all the coins within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, okay. It's a really funny way to do this.
It takes a lot of spray paint.
Yeah, throwing up, as the kids who are now adults would say.
Boing.
Yeah, Meat Shield chat confirmed. Fancy Pants is the one I'm thinking of. Oh, Fancy Pants eventually gets a pencil. I probably never played far enough to get the pencil.
Train, that's my name.
Yeah.
Karen Light special report on site in the old radius. This artwork, or throw up, is probably proudly displayed in the black book of the young delinquent who calls himself Train.
She's using a lot of graffiti lingo for being against it.
It's a relief to have new radiuses clean and wholesome, the mayor said. He dismissed this graffiti in Old Radius Village as an isolated incident and vowed such an act will not happen again.
Oh, definitely.
I can still only play as a toy. And we do have to load it again. These are tiny-ass games, by the way. Like, you know, the biggest you might expect one of these games to be would be like a megabyte. Because remember, you'd have to download this over, like, 2G, 1G, like the old connectivity. Experts tell me that vandals often try a wall jump, jumping up and off walls to get to high spots. Man, slow fucking news day, huh? It's
them going with the news reports for all the in-game tutorial stuff is really funny. Train has a crew. He meets people that they could have used to tutorialize him. But no, they wanted to expand on Karen Light, I guess.
Yeah, your favorite character, your most memorable character from the console game, presumably.
If only Andy Dick's character, who I don't remember the name of, was it? Because if you want to know how weird is Marc Ecko's getting up contents under pressure, Andy Dick plays a character in it.
2 spaces 5G or SG says, I looked up the old review and there's a full background. Are you sure they didn't just pick up all the spray paint cans? Because the instructions very specifically talk about filling in the background using these spray paint cans. Unless there's like a grayscale effect that is not emulated here. Like if you can like see like the fade, like the subtlety of a background before coloring it in. But also the screenshots I found for this looked much the same. Even the one included in Kahvibreak. I mean, again, we are not domain experts in all things J2ME. Maybe we will be by the end of the series. I don't like the way the wall jump controls here. It's not good. I need to let go of all the movement keys, which is the thing that I am fucking up. Also, you can't ledge grab because of the wall jump system. So it means that just this very basic... I'm going so far back in the level trying to just make any progress. All right. Seems like much the same tag as the first one. What are these sound effects? Are you hearing this shit?
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah, I did have a brief look just to see has anyone filmed this running on a real phone, and I don't think they have. But yeah, if there's reviews that mention that you were like filling out the background, then yeah, we'll that's what we'll have to go off of.
I think the sound is probably a sound emulation error. That strikes me as this is probably not intended behavior, but
but it's the thing is I do recognize what's on from the soundtrack. It's not one of the licensed ones, but it is one of the early battle themes that they have transposed to MIDI.
The sound is still happening despite me turning it off. So yeah, that's going to be your emulation error.
Yeah. Oh, Gail Punchet says, I'm told by trusted sources that this move called a double jump is being developed by high-level graffiti artists.
What won't they think of next?
Yeah. Oh!
And now consider my world colored. Another Karen Light special report. Another Ratchet graffiti hits, this time defacing the city's clean, pleasant subway. Will this renegade strike again, or will the increased enforcement keep train underground? Karen Light for Channel 6 News. There's only so many stages in this game I'm recognizing, I'm noticing here. I want to see if I go into this, can I try it as a writer or king? No. Still stuck on toy.
Maybe that's once you've, like, beat the game.
Also, this noise is driving me nuts. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close out. I'm going to restart the game and see if that fixes the...
Yeah, that's fair.
And we'll hopefully see that it saves the data. Hopefully it remembers our progression. No.
No. What would the black book be? I want to see.
Oh, this would have been zoomed in.
Okay.
On. Yeah.
These would have been the specific graffiti things you do at the end.
Oh man. Maybe we'll look into this one again because it's so curious it exists, and I had to show it, and for the weird effect that people are still legitimately unsure if this is a corruption, bad emulation, or just a bad aesthetic choice. This is Karen Light reporting in for the Bad Game Hall of Fame. That'll do it for Marc Ecko's Getting Up. Because I don't want to run into that audio issue again, primarily. Let's do another one from 2005, why don't we? There's another big franchise popping off at about this time. Ratchet and Clank. And you know, what better way for Sony to promote it than to commission one Handheld Games LLC to produce Ratchet and Clank going mobile. For J2ME. Any second now I'll be able to show it. You know, I'm even gonna restart it, let it play that intro out again. Just go through all these screens because I like seeing them. There's your title screen for like half a second. Oh, show me that this Ratchet skin. You can get 2 awesome skins for multiplayer Ratchet Gladiator if you win the game. For more details, visit sonypictures.com/mobile-racket. Or Ratchet, even.
Very interesting that these mobile versions are under Sony Pictures. The movie side of Sony.
Ratchet and Clank is a registered trademark of Sony Computer Entertainment America, Incorporated, 2007. Show me the developer, though. Ratchet support at Sony Pictures, produced and designed by Sony Pictures Mobile. Okay, so this one comes from an internal division, or no, developed by Handheld Games.
Yeah. I guess design just means that they were, you know, telling them what to do kind of thing.
Yeah, it must have been like consultancy or otherwise, like, we'll design all the assets, you design the implementation of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know from Ratchet and Clank. I don't know these character voices, so I'm just going to leave these to you.
Do you know what Tidus sounds like in Final Fantasy X?
Where are we?
That's Ratchet, yeah. It appears the biomatter converter technology that we were invited to preview has accidentally been triggered.
And that means?
I believe there's being converted to digital information and stored within the converter. Curious.
So what do we do?
I believe we need to look out.
Press the carry of the 5 key to attack with your wrench. Don't mind if I do.
There you go.
Oh, and that's for gameplay. Take over, game. I'm not trusted to walk forward yet.
Woo!
So what's this thing?
It looks like an info link that connects this area with the rest of the galaxy's information network. It will take us to another electronic device that may allow us to communicate with the analog world.
That will allow us to get out of here? Then I'm all about it. Let's go! Nope, still not trusted to play it yet. Press 8 or the down key on this teleporter to leave the level. Great. It dropped me off like right at the end. Let me do basically nothing. All right, level select.
Oh dear.
Hey, this place looks familiar.
Yes, it is familiar. too familiar. I believe the device we have been carried to is a vidcomic, specifically a Secret Agent Clank vidcomic.
Cool!
Perhaps, but also highly dangerous. I would suggest we find ammunition for your weapon.
This is cute.
Yeah. I find the naming and the image they use interesting because the name is like a reference to going commando, but the key art they've used is up your arsenal, which is the category I picked. But also 2008, this is way into the Ratchet and Clank future era
2005.
of the series. Was it?
2005,
I thought
not 2008.
weird. I thought I saw a 2008 copyright on that info screen earlier.
I have this internally listed as 2005.
We'll double check. Maybe I took up the hallucination.
And hey, wall jumping. Every J2ME game's got to have it, as it turns out.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, because I feel like Ratchet tends to not wall jump. He usually just gets like gravity boots and things like that.
Ratchet can grind on rails by jumping onto them.
Yeah, there we go.
Finally, we're trusted with this.
Yeah.
Even though it's completely, pardon the pun, on rails.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, Clank is voiced by David Kaye, who was Megatron in Beast Wars and Optimus Prime in Transformers Animated.
What's this?
It appears to be a software module that I can modify to allow me to extend my arms so as to grasp those green nodes.
So it'll work like my grapple gun?
Exactly. So you see a grapple icon when on screen. You may press up or 2 to extend my arms for a grapple or swing. You may swing across successive grapple points by pressing 2 in midair between swings.
Okay, let's see how well this works. By ignoring completely and dropping down here. No.
Magic Mouse says there is wall jumping? Maybe by future they got rid of that. I don't know. I mainly have not played the PS2 ones.
Bionic Commando this is not, but cute that they even...
Yeah. But there is a lot of the mechanics and tool set that Ratchet and Clank get that they are trying to represent here, and that's cool. Oh, okay. So we've got some extra info from 2Space. So this might clarify stuff. So this seems to be this is a 2007 version. So I guess like the original release was 2005. So it should actually run faster, but for some reason KE emulator doesn't run it well. So in the speed running community, it's an infamous issue. But there is an emulator called Free J2ME Plus that can run this one better.
Yeah, I looked into Free to J2ME and I found it worse. It seemed just like actively like clunkier and not as like fully featured as K emulator and mod did. But also like what's running wrong with this? You know, like this may not be up to speedrun spec. It's running at a constant 30, right?
I wonder if this would have been like on like the lowest grade phones this could run. This would have been like the approximate speed kind of thing. Like they developed it so it
Also, I feel
it could
stupid,
run better, but it's still playable at the lower end.
Oh, you know what? I might have it. No, that's not it.
No.
I'm trying to get up there. They have not tooltipped me on how to. Oh,
that doesn't look intentional to me.
Yeah, no.
I bet if you push hard enough, someone could get up that way. But I wouldn't assume that's
to the
intentional.
right. Doy. Yeah, that's why they need like an arrow in front of the door because that stuff does blend into the background a bit.
Yeah, that. Oh yeah. That did look a bit odd when you just kind of screen warp there.
I mean, the Prince of Persia game also had the same issue earlier, where it was not like delineating where the stages end, where you transition to the next stage. This wasn't a concern on their minds. I guess they just thought the design was so linear that you would ultimately run into these things. Sonic Adventure 2, this is not, with its grinds and so on and so forth. No, don't put me on the rail. This is also going to be a recurring issue, is that sometimes these games are a little too ambitious for how few controls they have.
Yeah.
Rearm our sub-weapons. Let's get out of here before I end up in a valet suit again. Okay, level 2 unlocked. Yeah, sure, I'll save that game. Weapon store. You can buy Lancer ammo, gravity bombs, mini rockets, defragmenters.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we actually have the mini rockets or defragmenters.
Yeah. I wonder how much like the main Ratchet and Clank games will be if they actually want you to buy it.
Two Spaces
interesting to see
SU saying no sound effects. There are sound effects for...
Yeah. Maybe there's supposed to be more than we're getting.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to represent these things in some form or fashion. I think what you're going to run into is that when it comes to J2ME, there's not one consistent, there's never going to be a consistent, like, agreed upon consensus for what the game should perform like, because you're going to have multiple versions of any given game that were designed for whatever device in particular they were made for, which might have specific concessions made that might, excise one thing to meet the file size limits of one, or otherwise change the resolution to meet the specifications of another model.
Mm-hmm.
And all these games are very poorly documented in terms of which version is which. Like I said, generously, you're lucky if a game will have what resolution it's meant to run at as part of the file name.
Yeah. I got a proper look at your wall jumping there, and it looks so janky.
Okay, they're very insistent we run this faster. I can do that. I can say, instead of this 30 frames per second that it's running at, which seems fine to me, let's run it at 60. You can totally do here.
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
I would also say that, given a given phone, that, even ones that were similarly spec'd might have had, different performance. So...
Yeah.
I would say 30 frames per second is probably indicative of what most, mid-range phones would have been capable of at a moment in time. Another info link.
Yep. It's a lot of dialogue, but, that there is quite a lot of character dialogue in the game, so it's good to represent that in a way.
We unlocked a combat arena, which is now the only thing I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
The arena.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. Galpon mentions that recently found was a game called Ratchet and Clank Clone Hero, a unreleased sequel to this game. That's cool that people are even able to find prototype and unreleased mobile stuff.
I mean, that seems like, the developers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Keep giving me...
Oh, yeah, and I did mention earlier, but it's interesting that they... we mentioned earlier about games that a lot of, them are advertising their main console versions, and right at the start, they very quickly referenced the Secret Agent Clank PSP game.
And even had a reference to it in the gameplay where they said, this is just like Secret Agent Clank.
Yeah.
Oh, enemies left 2. Where could they be? Oh, I was mid-killing something, and I skipped past whatever it wanted to tell me. But yeah, this seems neat. 60 FPS if your phone could run it. Like a dream. It's smooth enough. This is by 2005 or 2007 re-release, what have you. But for this era, and we should mention the era of J2ME runs from 2002, really 2003, to roughly 2009, 2010. You'll get some releases after that. There's still a active homebrew scene around J2ME, it must also be mentioned. People still making stuff in Java 2 Micro. But for our context, we're going to try to focus in mostly on games that would have been sold on a storefront back in the day rather than more modern homebrew. Game has been saved. Yeah, so you can grind out points there. And I'm going to go to the communication station.
Yeah. As mentioned, I've not played the PS2 ones yet. I know one of them that I assume it's the one that had arena in the name. Is one of them was like more structured like that? Yeah, where you would do like arena combat challenges to earn upgrades instead of just like going through normal levels.
Titanium bolt. Collect them all to get the rhino. Which one's the rhino?
Yep, that's like the ultimate weapon that they all have. I think it's like a bit different every time because it's like it gets upgraded each game. I do feel bad about that being in the Ratchet and Clank and not having played any of the PS2 ones. But that's the problem with PlayStation 2. It had a huge library, a lot of great games, so it's very easy to miss the classics.
Entire franchises, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Every time you were dropping there, I was like, oh.
I can't aim up, I don't think. But I could do that attack, mercifully, to aim down. I'm already bored of this, right? I could see someone getting more out of this than me. I'm not the target demo, as it were. Not caring or knowing about the original franchise, and then also not caring about platformers in general. But, that's my cross to bear. Unlock level 4. So, yeah, I think they intend for you to go back to previous levels as you power up, so you can go back and get the titanium bolts. Is I'm guessing what we're doing here. Because, we went to this level, and I don't think there was a way to open up the key-carded doors, for example.
Yeah. I'm noticing a pattern with some of these games where they build more grindy gameplay of redo levels, go back to earlier stuff to extend things.
We're going to close out of that one for now. But, there's something there, just not my personal cup of tea, but clearly it's trying to do a lot with a little, which is the J2ME slogan, as it should have been coined. Speaking of, we're moving into 2006 now. And 3D, we mentioned earlier, was capable even on the 3410. But here, we're going to see it realized for the first time in this episode. But there are 3D J2ME games. And what better way to show off 3D on J2ME than with Ridge Racer? Remember that one? This was released in 2006, developed by some Namco mobile division, I would presume. And this will give us a taste of what 3D might look like with this, I'm assuming, 1-to-1 version of Ridge Racer. Probably not 1-to-1, but this might still be impressive nonetheless. You are allowed to be impressed by the games we're showing off here, folks. We were not saying these are inherently bad for being on J2ME, just a reminder.
No, I when looking stuff up, I do remember reading that this was kind of a showcase piece, this one.
Now, Bin PDA here, these are a cracker group that were prolific back in the day, who were responsible for a lot of the dumps you'll find on sites like PhoneKey or what have you. They were responsible for cracking a lot of these games, posting them online for people to download direct to their devices, and so on and so forth. So their names will pop up if you check the About pages for a lot of these games.
Yeah. This one I'm specifically curious about because I want to see how it stacks up to the Zebo version.
Now, why would I take the FA Racing 3 when the Ryukyu 4 has this better stats objectively? Automatic manual transmission. I'm going to stick with automatic if you don't mind. We have novice, intermediate, and advanced, and time trial.
Yeah, so with Ridge Racer, that's the different course lengths because they do like course variants.
Ooh. Type D is the default. Auto accelerate.
Honestly, that's fine for Ridge Racer.
I'm completely fine with that. Braking is 5, shift up and down, which I'm not going to bother with. So this is really just going to be left, right, and brake. Is all I have to worry about here.
Yeah. Oh, I think your sound is still set to off.
Oh. Was that even
No,
in the
no,
options?
no, like in the menu. Yeah, yeah.
There's no settings.
Oh, I swear I saw it earlier. Maybe it's in the controls. Go to the controls again.
Sound. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's it, yeah.
Oh man, we were missing out on this pop.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. I did not know their game.
Yeah, sorry, it was in this page. There was a sound tab, but hey, we got it on now. Oh, Ho Ho Hi Hen in chat says, I'm curious how profitable this whole Java game endeavor for the devs back then, because piracy was so rampant for this format.
Well, it's like they were making money off of these games anyway for the longest time because of the way the providers.
I think by this point...
By this point like, in 2005, 2006, they probably had better models established, you know, in a post-BlackBerry world.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of like 2003, around, like when the N-Gage would have come out, it mostly would have been set. Yeah, so we've got bumper cam here, and...
I turned music off by accident. I was just trying different buttons to see if there's a camera button, but there was not a camera button listed in the controls, so I think this is just it. And it's obviously going to be the best way to render it, is just to use this perspective, to not even try to render your car in 3D. It's probably taxing enough that they're keeping track of the opponent car here, so... Oh man, I've completely lost control.
Yeah, yeah. That's very Ridge Racer one-handed, though, that skinning out. And yeah, there's quite a bit of texture warping, but once you're going up to enough speed, you don't really see it. It's only when you get like really close to walls and you slow down. But yeah, you know, we saw the earlier stuff. Like this is, yeah, very impressive compared to.
Like they even have the cute little Galaxian footage there.
Yeah. And yeah, it even does seem like quite, you know, they're emulating how Ridge Racer 1 feels. I can tell enough from watching, like,
yeah, I pulled off a successful drift there.
Steering when you drift, yeah.
Yep. You know, for a reminder, 2006, we're in the era of the Nintendo DS. Games are fully in 3D on your handheld. PSP's out at this point, but that's also not the point here, right? At some point, like, this is impressive enough for, given the technology, given the fact that this device is also what you have with you, what is socially acceptable to have with you at all hours of the day, to be texting, browsing the web on your feature phone, and then the luxury of having a game you could play on it too. You know, appeal to a market that was, you know, not buying portable systems, that would not have thought to bought a DS or a Game Boy Advance or what have you. And if this is going to be how you get them on the hook with gaming...
Oh. You know what? Not this version, maybe, but one, like, you know, like a higher spec version of this does seem to actually have a car view. Maybe it's, like, only in time trial mode?
Game over,
no,
game over, yeah.
Because it shows position.
Rightly so.
So yeah, there is definitely a version of this. Maybe it's...
You know, it could be a different version, like we mentioned, that, you know, some versions would have more advanced hardware under the hood.
Oh, okay. It seems to be a specific mode, because when they're in this mode, there's only one other racer on the track, I think.
There's only one other racer on that track.
Oh, okay. There must be there must be a specific version, or it's a hidden button.
Menu, quit. I'm just checking the controls.
Yeah,
Doing stuff for one of the four car controls.
Here we go.
Right soft key. Okay. Now, I didn't want to press that mid-race just in case that, like, ended the race.
Yeah,
right soft key is typically used, like, for back. So, yeah, I will see
how
that works, how that cooks.
Yeah, the longer course. I'm curious to see if they've got multiple songs from the...
And here we are.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think just the one song they're gonna do. It's a shame. There's a really particular bad MIDI conversion of one of the like happy hardcore songs from Ridge Racer 1 in the Brew Zebo version, and I was hoping we were going to get a version of that here.
Also, not my best drift, as you may have observed there.
Yeah. But yeah, cool to see that they still were able to do some version of the third person camera review
This
as
feels
well.
very much on a rail, the way I'm like being like magnetized back towards the center of the track.
Yeah.
But they don't want me like too off steering too much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, even when you like play some Ridge Racer good, it does a lot of that. Like you take certain drifts right, like you're just auto doing corners at like top speed. But hey, that's why I like Ridge Racer.
Ooh, yeah, you know, I don't think I like I usually prefer a third-person camera for my vehicle driving, but there's something about this that is making it trickier for me. It's not really affecting the performance any, mind you.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have picked up on earlier, there's only one other opponent. But, yeah. You gotta scale it down somehow. You know, beyond the general visuals. But they are representing a lot of just what this track is supposed to look like, the iconography, just to a more compressed state.
Think I can beat this guy still? Think I have enough time to mount a...
You could, yeah.
No, I bumped the side.
But yes, but with this small viewpoint, the zooming out.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's the juice.
Switch till he gets to the consecutive hairpin turns, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Your ass is dead.
Yeah. And yeah, also just smartly, like the way they've used the screen real estate, you know, using that phone aspect ratio.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, we're good,
and
we're
then
good.
using the black space to put your, you know, like heads-up display information. Okay, yes. Slime's done a bit of research into how this might have been on actual phones, so they say, yep. Review at the time says the game can be a bit sluggish. There's an ancient YouTube video of someone playing it on their phone, but it's hard to tell through the potato video quality. But at least looks like it doesn't run like Total hardware. Yeah.
You know, I could realistically, I have this set to 30 FPS, so K-Emulator will target 30 FPS. You know, I could also just as easily turn this down to 15 because you have the ability to freely set that value. And, you know, that might be more accurate in a sense.
Again, a bit different, but when I started doing Engage emulation at first, I remember not realizing for a while, like, oh yeah, you have to set a frame rate if you want it to play how it actually was on real hardware. Because it's very different per game.
So yeah, we got 2 races out of that. We could go on to Expert, but I think we showed up enough
that
of
that is essentially all the content original Ridge Racer had, just, you know, with the less races. But again, for the hardware, like, yeah, ooh.
Well, we can now scratch driving games off the list of genres represented tonight, which is good because we got another one to scratch off here. What about an RPG? And I don't think that Drakengard counts in this context, in the way it's presented here. I'm talking like a classic RPG. I'm talking The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, developed by Barking Lizards Technology and published by Superscape in collaboration with Bethesda Softworks, I imagine, et al. This is a funky one.
Oh, yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
And this is not the only Elder Scrolls game. There are a couple other Elder Scrolls games that play more like wizardry, like first-person grid-style navigation through dungeons and such. But this is the one that is tied in specifically to the console one, and that's why we're playing this one right here, right now.
Yeah. Yeah, wizardry style is what I would expect. And, you know, that's what John Carmack did for the Doom RPGs he made.
Basic controls. Attack, yep.
But, yeah, no, I've A lot of nostalgia for Elder Scrolls 4, because when I brought my Xbox 360, the original packing game that I didn't really want wasn't available, so the store said, "Oh, you could just pick one." And
Also,
I heard things, so I picked Oblivion.
are we like stuck here? What is? I've tried every button I have, and we are trapped in this basic controls menu. This is what I mean by funky. I think this one might legitimately still have emulation issues, or the dump of it that exists that we have that is most widely circulated is otherwise funky. Because like when you launch it, when you first play it, there is yeah, okay. So you have to switch controls to Motorola to back out of menus. Yeah, that parses. This is specifically made for a Motorola model of phone. What would that be? QWERTY mode or... It doesn't matter. We're gonna, not always have the most accurate displays of prowess of these games running as intended. That's just kind of not gonna happen with this series, unfortunately. We have class select. We have Nightblade, Barbarian, Archer, Knight, Spellsword, Sorcerer, Battle Mage, Monk. What strikes your fancy?
I definitely tend to go Strong Woman Barbarian for these. I don't know what class you play in these though.
Thief. Always a thief. So I guess that makes me an archer in this, right?
Archer or Nightblade, maybe.
Let's go with Barbarian, actually, because I don't want to engage in any sort of magic system in this game if it exists.
Yeah.
I just imagine the hell of menus.
Please wait.
Oh, I got nothing but time, baby. The moon rose over Tamriel, red with imperial blood. The sons of the Emperor have been slain by a mysterious cult, the Dragon Throne to be their next target. The Imperial Guards rushed to smuggle the Emperor out of the Imperial City through a secret passage in the prison, but the cult struck too quickly. Damn, chills up my spine from my own narration there. I have such gravitas. I know. Make haste, my liege. The footsteps are drawing closer. Quick, Emperor. The secret passageway is in this cell. Move, prisoner. We must pass. You give me a barbarian voice. We don't think we get to pick gender in this one, so you're just going to have to use your imagination.
So, this is the Emperor. And if I do not...
Move! We're too late. They're here. Defend the Dragon Throne. Oh, this is going to be an epic fight.
Oh, yeah, different interpretation of the story. I wonder if they got Patrick Stewart for this version as well.
Yeah, the only bit of sampled speech, you're about to hear it. You there! Quickly, take this! Find Joffrey and give this to him. He will know what to do. We must save the mortal plane from... Poof!
Oh, you just don't know in this version.
Now to
escape. I need a sky so I can get out of this prison. I suppose.
The Emperor uniform is a fitting one. I forgot to scroll instead of pressing enter. But yeah, stupid idea disguising yourself as the Emperor. The person that everyone wants to assassinate. I'll disguise myself as the target that everyone most wants to kill right now. He has the Amulet of Kings. Kill him. Ahem.
Oh, hold, wait just a moment.
Keys, fight, fire, toggle weapon, pound and 3, quick health potion, 7, quick magic potion, 9. And here's the attack.
Yeah. Okay, so they're trying to do a more like dungeon crawler Diablo thing, I'm guessing.
Okay, so awesome thing about this game, and the way it is emulated this version, you see me tapping, I'm having to rapid tap the movement keys to get any sort of movement happening here. Whereas I should just be able to hold up to move. But I think once you get out of this cell room, it starts to work.
Yeah. It's like the old Homestar Runner website game, the walk triathlon game, where you have to do the marathon at walking speed, and if you go too fast, you get penalized.
Oh man, this is rough though.
What's the name of that one?
I really thought it was supposed to work around here. I remember I played this previously, and it started to work. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh.
Sometimes. I had auto moving for like a second. It was beautiful. Oh, if I mash 4 and the left arrow key, I can do it twice as fast. Oh, now it works. Great, now it fucking works. After all that time. So you see, this is how it's more meant to be, rather than tapping. Oh, no. I think it's every time I touch a wall, shit breaks. Can I jump it? Can I climb it? Can I do anything at this juncture? Pressing F1, F2. I'm pressing a lot of things. Yeah, this might be one where we do in fact need the specific controls envisioned for this game. Oh, wait, no.
Oh.
I switched to QWERTY mode.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to at least do that jump.
Yeah, I do see 2 spaces says that the only dump is the Motorola version, and the controls seem to be broken in the emulator and on specific real phones as well. Maybe.
Well,
you need
I'm
a very
making it work.
phone type for the dump they have. Yeah. I love the really goofy take on the story. You don't get the iconic line of like, "Close shut the doors of Oblivion." The guy just dies. Does it even say Oblivion? You never hear about Oblivion. You hear about Joffrey still.
Man, it would be sick if this worked.
Are you poisoned?
Yeah, probably, right? I know I can use a health potion by pressing...
Pretty mean for literally the tutorial dungeon.
One of these keys is supposed to be that access to quick potion. But I have the feeling I'm going to die instead.
Yeah.
To the most easily curable poison of all time. Well, poison got out of my system, and now I'm auto-healing.
Yeah. But, looking at this, I could definitely see you're trying to make an action RPG. You scale it down to the phone, doing something in this, like, Diablo style. Back when sometimes they were called dungeon crawlers, sometimes they were called hack and slash games. Because that's how dumb genre name stuff is sometimes. But yeah, like, this is more the speed. I would have suggested attempting as well if I was like put in charge of making something like this.
Backtracking already? Talk about lazy level design.
I mean, the opening dungeon cave bit of Oblivion also sucks. So they've just been true to the original.
Might be the most accurate handheld conversion. There's also a version of Elder Scrolls for Nokia N-Gage. That is fascinating. Is that our sprite up there? What's that doing there? Probably not supposed to be there. If I had to hazard a guess. Yeah, this seems to be a not great dump.
Mm-hmm.
Or it is incredibly specific in ways that we are not equipped to show off, so we would probably not show off too much more of this. But that's the other risk when it comes to getting into the J2ME space and wanting to emulate these games and so on and so forth, is that not all the dumps are great. Not all the cracks that existed were awesome or did like their full job as they were supposed to. There's nothing but like inconsistency and inaccuracy ahead of us on this particular journey.
Yeah, also probably worth mentioning if people thinking about it. Also around this time would have been the cancelled PSP Oblivion tie-in game that there's various prototypes floating around online.
Yes.
I know P2P Online, the YouTube account, has a lot of videos covering that, including weird dev builds they built to run on PlayStation 2 because if you're making a PSP game and you need dev kits, PS2s are cheaper, and it works essentially the same.
Go shopping.
I do kind of
Save
wish
game.
we had that. Hell yeah!
Sick.
Hey, look at that.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like any comparison to the gear you have on, or if you just have to know what you have already.
You probably just gotta know. If I had to hazard a guess.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all. I have stuff I can sell though. I guess we've been using an iron battle axe. I guess we had this stuff on. Is it auto equipped? I would have to hope so.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to know before Perceptor got into the spirit of re-releasing Skyrim on as many platforms and styles. They did attempt with Oblivion. There were attempts.
I know. I just thought of a fascinating new wrinkle in this. How are we supposed to get out of this menu if we're missing controls? Womp womp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying this various keyboard keys to see if I can accidentally magic something into. No, that might be the end of our journey. Our quest might end here, because I dared to enter the shop.
Yeah, it sounds like you have to swap control methods in the emulator a lot to get around the menus and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we might move on this one for now.
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, if stuff advances though, could be a revisit, hopefully.
Maybe this series will be the thing to inspire people to return to active J2ME emulation. Probably not, but it's nice to dream about the scale and scope of this thing. Speaking of scale and scope, you know what game has a lot of scope in the time it was released? A little game by the name of Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Don't know why I mentioned that game. Surely they wouldn't have been audacious enough to try to bring that to J2ME. Oh, yes, they did. Developed by Capcom Interactive Canada and published by Capcom in 2007. This is Dead Rising.
Oh. I wonder who that is, because the studio that made Dead Rising 2 that eventually became Capcom Vancouver, they were called Blue Castle Games? I assume that's different.
I mean, we can check here. Tools programmed by Richard
Capcom
Big Daddy R. Halliday.
Hell yeah. I don't know enough to say if these are Canadian names or not. Probably not. Nugan. Oh, actually, I think that is.
Alright, that's the only option. Okay, I'll start with this first profile. Jodareal says this ought to be at least as good as the Wii version. Check out our playthrough of Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop on the channel. Oh my god. I'm banging my head.
Hell yeah. Speaking of Doom WAD midis.
Holy shit! This slaps. Alright, welcome to Dead Rising. Here's a brief explanation of the controls, motherfucker. Press an OK or select or 5 will advance dialogue. 3 will skip the current dialogue completely. Weapon balls are blue balls lying around labeled with a letter. Press 9 when standing on top of one to pick up the weapon inside it. The directional pad as well as 2, 4, 6, 8 keys can be used to move your character around. OK, select and 5 can be used to fire, swing, or throw your current weapon. Photography system can be initiated by pressing 7. This will bring up a reticule and the movement keys around the screen. Pressing OK to select will take the picture. Picture can be viewed at later times from the menu, which can be accessed by the clear and back soft keys.
So you thought this was like the Wii one? No, this one actually does have the photography. Can't believe they called the weapon pickups blue balls. Is that supposed to be Otis?
Take a photo. Smile for the camera, bud. Didn't let me. I'm trying to talk to him.
Yeah. Like a part of me wonders if the composer did the music for this had a history in making music for like custom Doom WADs.
Hey buddy, what's going on here? You a journalist or something? Frank West, freelance photographer. They say this is a case of civil disobedience, but it didn't look like that as we flew in. It's too quiet. It's almost as if everyone's already dead. Yeah, so why don't you just tell me already? What's going on?
Biggest babe. Yep. This is one-on-one dialogue from the console version.
This, my friend, is hell. Now bang your head. It's not letting me pick up this,
You know about this blue ball? Oh.
I was
Hero
going through
stats.
the options. Yep. Damage
Oh,
speed.
no hero stats.
Let me check those controls again. No. Maybe I haven't learned how to pick up items yet.
You know what? If it's structured literally like the console one, then yeah, you have to wait to start picking stuff up. It's funny that that conversation's on the roof, but this is a completely new area. I guess it's supposed to represent the security area, but they've definitely taken liberties.
Okay. So game, just tell me what you want to do. Just at this point, just tell me what. Okay, go to the left. Again, not clearly indicating.
Yeah.
Respond to the femboy whisperer.
Yeah. There's first time chat. Femboy Whisperer mentioned not the phone game, but made me think of Dead Rising Shop to You Drop, the remake of the Wii for the Wii that's based on Resident Evil 4. Oh yeah, no. You missed it 5 minutes ago where we referenced the full playthrough we did of that one. It was interesting. But it burnt. I got burnt out on that game like halfway through.
All right, that was our cutscene as far as seeing how it all goes to hell. Yes, check out our playthrough of Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop.
Yeah. There is fascinating stuff in that.
A baseball can be thrown easily. Okay.
You know, I'm giving credit. I wasn't expecting to even represent any gore, considering what this was released on, but they're doing blood, body parts. Yeah.
Okay, I got it figured out. I know what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
There, I saved the old lady. A spade. Do I just auto attack? Or am I?
No. It said there was a button. I think it was 5.
Oh, it's just a really bad weapon. Duly noted.
It was a It was a bit weird though because it mentioned the button could do multiple actions.
Oh, you know what the problem here is? Is that there's no like picking up and dropping off things. All these points are fixed. All these weapon pickups are fixed in positions. So I basically every time you pass by, you can swap to this weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey puck.
That's... Yeah, I get that. You're probably not going to let... Outside of just destroying...
I thought that was a door.
Yeah.
Found you unconscious in the mall. Try to be more careful. Yeah, I'll get right on that. So now we can see what these items were.
Oh, okay.
Death doesn't exist in Dead Rising. On mobile.
Yeah, Slime Generator tells me that actually there was definitely a lot of porn games on J2ME, which, you know, thinking back to it, I do remember there being a lot of adverts for that stuff.
Get back in the security room. We need to talk to you. All right, don't gotta tell me twice. Why you couldn't talk to me the first time I was in here?
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. Yep, some more dialogue from the game. Referencing photographs that we can't see on screen because the cutscenes here are only, you know. Frank, can you hear me? Yep, we're back in. What is K? Chef's knife, I'll leave that. Meat cleaver. Baseball bat. I got a handgun already, so I might as well put... You seem to be stronger, faster. Killing seems easier than it was a short time ago. All stats increased.
That's a funny way of putting it. I think this game might be using concept art for the portraits because I recognize some of the art, but Otis, that's not what he looks like in the final game. It's a similar idea to what he's supposed to be, but that's just a different character.
This one, you attacked us by walking into people. That's why I thought with the...
Yeah. Well, that makes
like
sense. And yeah,
Brain Dead, the Peter Jackson movie. When he says the lawnmower that he flips on its
Oh,
side
yeah,
and
yeah.
just walks into enemies.
Dead Rising has a lot of energy from that. Oh, you level up quite quickly as well. Also, it's nice that you actually do level up quite quickly from killing. Because, yeah, and in the console version, the main 360 version, it was mostly photography. We should try that when you get so like what the photography stuff actually. Yeah, I saw the cursor, but like what happens when you take a picture.
Oh,
there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, so hey!
Yeah, sure. I'm going to discard that. But yeah, I presumably you could. If you got some really cool photos. Bring back the metal song. That shit was so sick.
I think this turns into the metal song.
You know, Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop had that song by the Gaga 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 special.
Yep.
That sick punk song for its commercial campaign. Even stronger and faster and better and so on and so forth. Yes!
There you go. I really want to know about this composer because just this, like, the way this sounds just makes you think they must have done a lot of MIDI stuff to get this good with doing MIDIs.
Saturday's played a lot of Rise of the Triad.
Yeah. Yeah, again, that's why I was like, did they used to work on Doom mods for people?
SMG.
Yeah. Is there a way to heal in this? I haven't figured that out yet.
Surely. There must be like some sort of pickup that heals. Now I know those aren't doors, those are enemies, those bars that show up behind the walls.
Yeah. And yeah, I assume the watch is not a timer, it's just telling you where to go.
Nope, that's my ammo.
They put a north on it, so it's actually a compass, I guess.
Luckily, I can just keep grabbing the SMG,
exit
the room, burn through the ammo, get all the XP for doing that, grab it again.
In an abstract way, you could deload, reload areas in the original game to get items back, so... And I'm fine with doing it that way on mobile.
I want to level up again. Nope, pick it up. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Yeah, so the green bar in the bottom left is the ammo counter, I would presume.
Yeah.
Or the usage counter for a given.
Yeah, the durability, yeah.
Alright, let's see what this weapon is. Oh, yep, the auger again. Oh, come on, this is just first level of Doom 2 Hell on Earth. Nail gun.
They're representing a lot of nice. They're representing a lot of the weapon variety as well, which is cool. Funny enough, I've Stippo, who would be like the leading expert in Dead Rising 1. He's a guy who has a bunch of prototype builds. So there is a version that's like publicly released now you can check out. But I did a video on the iPhone game. I'll be honest, this looks way better than that.
No kidding.
Yeah. That one, it's not gameplay-wise, but structure-wise is kind of like the iOS Resident Evil 4, where it's all like mission-based.
Potato chips, they're flavored with the goodness of chicken. We're going to get into one of those later, too. There's a very specific type of mobile game that Capcom would translate, a format they would use for like Resident Evil games, when there's a bunch of Resident Evil games on J2ME, as well as another franchise, the different one that we'll feature tonight. I'm throwing plates, by the way. That weapon sucks.
Yeah.
Not all weapons are created equal in this, I'll tell you that much for free.
Yeah. Again, they're representing that side of Dead Rising well. Some of the joke ones. Sometimes the dishes would be good for just keeping a group at bay because you could span them and stun zombies that way.
Just tossing
like
hockey pucks.
Yeah. Instead of smacking them with an actual stick.
Yeah, the melee just seems like a bad idea all around in this one. Yeah, any weapon that is like visible that you have to like watch the animation play out for is not ideal. Luckily, the meat cleavers are throwing weapons, so I can just
nice.
deal them like a deck of cards.
Yeah. I still appreciate how many of the melee weapons they represent, though. Because, yeah, that was a big issue with Dead Rising Shop to Your Drop. Was just, yes, making that a very gun-based game. It just doesn't work with that style.
Still, novel, weird fucking thing. One of our slept-on playthroughs, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
And yeah, it's cool they're also, trying to represent the original story here as well, which I believe that iOS game doesn't really do. Does it play as multiple characters, though? Like I said, it's almost like a take on Resident Evil Mercenaries, but with, like, an attempt to do, like, open sandbox. Like, not maps you're traveling between, but, like, a big level that's got loads of pickups and things. But yeah, it did look good.
Look at this auto aim. I'm just tapping the 5 button.
Yeah.
And everything on the screen dies. Which is, as advanced as this needs to be.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Can I save? No, I can find an apple.
There we go. in the toilet, though, so I don't know if you should have eaten that.
Yeah, probably not. Also, I don't think I'm focusing on any objective in particular here. That might be to my detriment. This might be intended to...
Hey, maybe it's the version that people want to play that doesn't have the timer.
Yeah, you just kind of live. You just exist in the mall, man.
Yeah.
It's like Zen. Yeah, I prefer to roleplay when I play Dead Rising. I just roleplay as a customer. Trying to find deals. Ooh, this Mega Man outfit is 50% off in this store.
Finding that there is an old YouTube video from like maybe even like 2006. It is kind of just that. It's just like two teenagers just going into like each store. Hell yeah!
I went the wrong way, by the way. There was clearly... Oh, I can just fast travel to it, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's right, they mentioned you could just do this. And now this time I'll go left, and this will take me to the food court where we can meet Brad.
Yeah. Oh, and I wonder... I know what you do with Brad there.
I'm just taking a look at all the weapons around. It's
look
so...
at those massive potted plants.
It's so easy to, like, look at this, and, you come in with such low expectations. Free OJ!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sentiment that doesn't age well.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just assume these games are gonna, like, be whatever. They're gonna be what they're gonna be. But, so when they do anything relatively ambitious, you're just like, whoa!
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. You know how to use that gun? I've never fired at a person. It's the first time for everything.
Yep, the boss fight.
Nope, I'm already out of ammo.
Yep.
Oh, hand grenade.
The dialogue for that was real weird. He got all like, alas, poor Uric.
First thou shalt pull the pin, then count to 3.
Oh, it's a fucking Monty Python reference.
Oh, I died. I was trying to go for the medkit there, as you can maybe tell.
You're not British, Steph. You shouldn't be doing cheeky references like that. You're not rare. What's going on?
Can I just fast travel right back to... No, I'd have to go back to this room and then to the left. Okay.
Oh, triple AAA in chat asks a good question. Why is there a grand piano in the food court? Yeah, food for thought there.
Shut up.
What?
All right, nail gun.
Chew me out like that. Can't believe it.
I'm just gonna rush it. Oh, accidentally ate some potato chips on the way back. Yeah, by God, they tried to make a boss fight here. I wish they hadn't.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Like
very
Metal Gear-esque.
It's like Metal Gear and a little bit of like a Final Fantasy VII song. It's got some elements of like the Shinra building music in it.
I fucked up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess, it's take cover. I guess it's like wait it out. I guess it's be patient. But when have I ever been known to do any of that shit?
Yeah.
And it's just as well.
I mean, you could also grind and level up as well.
Save progress, quick game, yes.
But yeah, no, if I got this sound, Jesse Tart, yeah, no, you did amazing job.
That was Dead Rising. Yeah, that was interesting. Maybe a contender for Best of the Night. Because we do have to do that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Some old gimmicks die hard. Next game comes to us courtesy of Electronic Arts. It's 2007's Skate, developed by EA Mobile Montreal and published by Electronic Arts. I hear there's a new Skate game out.
Yeah.
How's that?
Dear.
How's that been going?
It's funny. Every time I hear about it, it's like, here's this cool update, and here's this sucky thing that they also added. And that's like every time I hear about it. It's like, yeah, we added a new map, but you have to pay a pass to be able to get there.
Rip your way to the cover of Thrasher magazine. Oh, we get customization. Okay.
You gotta have blue hair.
Can do shirt, red or brown. Pants.
What? Yeah, why so few shirt options?
I mean, the illusion of choice. Okay, move up, down, speed up, and more manual. Ollie, stop, footy time.
Oh yeah, get some footy in. So yeah, how they could emulate that dual analog system here?
I'm Danny Way, and the only person to ever win Thrasher Skate of the Year twice. My sponsor is looking for some new talent, so grab your board and I'll show you some moves. Starting easy, move forward by pressing that, navigate your way through this course. Okay, cool. Can't go any faster than this.
Oh, you're getting fancy with it.
Yeah, they didn't even tutorialize me on that yet. Because whenever I try to, I accidentally did a manual because I was trying to move faster. I was trying to hold forward to go faster.
Yeah. Good job, man.
Okay, let's ollie. Ollie, oxen free. I wonder if this is one worth running at 60 FPS. So, and this looks to me like how it was probably meant to run. But, just for funsies.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen some indie. Oh yeah, I don't know if it even actually affected it.
No, this is running at 60.
Oh, okay.
It is running smoother.
Then.
It is just still very slow.
Oh.
I fucked up, yeah.
No. Yeah. There are...
Fuck.
Took out the Danny Way and just showed me, footage cropped to, 16:9. And you could have tricked me into this... Oh, this is, an indie skating game that came out in, the mid-2010s. There were, some, indie, adventure games that were, doing this art style. Like Gemini Rue.
Railwork.
Hell yeah. I've been working on the railroad.
Hell yes.
Okay, what's interesting about this reminds me kind of how the early handheld Tony Hawk games would be.
Yeah, the Game
Where
Boy
they would
Color
be
ones and
these.
whatnot.
Yeah. No, they don't seem to be doing well, at least not right now.
Sick. Speed.
There we go.
Use speed 2 by pressing once you're ready. So that really is. This is 1. This is 2. Pathetic.
Okay. Okay, they are trying to emulate a system in Skate where like you have to do like 3 kicks to get up to speed, and then that's kind of when you're at max speed.
But the seconds are counting down as seconds, so I think this is.
Yeah.
Just the game out of necessity runs slow.
Mm-hmm.
In order to facilitate like time for you to like do your moves.
Yeah.
Danny told me you think you've got the material to be a pro. I've been hitting the quarter pipes and half pipes pretty hard lately. Dude, that's not the only pipe you're hitting. Maybe I can show you a thing or two. 360?
I wonder if this game's all gonna be tutorials. Here we go. Oh, some generator says fuck Danny Way, by the way. Yeah, I don't know specifics, but that seems to be a correct sentiment from what I've heard.
Oops, accidentally did a lip trick.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the gameplay, but I do just find it cute that this art style looks like what a lot of like a specific indie game art look that games had at a time. All right, do an airwalk.
There it is. And sure, take a photo of me not doing the airwalk, you asshole. 5 air tricks in the half pipe. I want to make sure you're paying attention.
You've only told me 2.
There we go there. Let me just try. I tried some other keys to see if they would do different tricks. I can do this and then break my knees.
Ooh, yeah.
Left and right.
Was
oh, there we go.
Skate. If this was Skate 2, then we could also, say fuck it, kick. Compton ass Terry.
All right, lip stall time. Oh, I have like a window where I need to do it like while it's this animation, maybe, possibly. Oh, wait, no, I need to be holding the opposite direction, don't I? Yes, got it. I picked up what they laid down. Yeah, sure, get me not doing the lip trick. Again, this photographer fucking sucks. That we got. Who fucking hired this guy? He's your cousin? Get a better cousin, asshole. You got skills enough to stand on a board. It's a start.
He did more than that, mate.
Not quite there yet, but we have potential. Oh, gotta balance out the grind.
I get it's good they have the tutorial explain things. They really should have paced this out a little bit. Like, do the tutorial and then give you some gameplay built around what you just learned and then move on. Just frontlining all these, like, it's terrible pacing.
Yeah, this doesn't strike me as a particularly great product. This one.
Yeah. Like, I do, I was kind of joking a bit, but I do really like the art.
Ow.
But this seemed like a bad idea on paper because Skate is so intrinsically built around its dual analog control system.
This. Hopefully they give me enough. Hopefully they're like, that's enough. You did enough grinding.
And
nope, 1 of 2.
And even beyond mobile, anytime they've tried to bring Skate to a system that isn't controlled with dual analog sticks, it's never worked. See, Skate It on Wii and DS.
This sucks. This is a serious contender for worst of the night. Despite how much more advanced
honestly,
it may look,
yeah.
This is
dog
water. I hate this.
I was bad at it, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on Game Boy Color would kick the piss out of this.
Give me the fucking jump. It doesn't even matter because I'm already like gonna fail out of this because they want me to grind that whole sequence, which means doing the very finicky jump from like one rail to another and resisting the urge to constantly be tapping to try and build up speed. Ugh. Pause, retry. Pray for me. I overshot it? I didn't even know I could do that. And fuck you for letting me do that.
I assume it works on kind of like a lane change system.
Yeah, but you can
Or
overshoot
like...
if you hold it down for more than a second. They want me to combo every goddamn object.
I'm guessing, yeah, but if you tap it, it maybe doesn't register that well. Is that the issue? Like you have to hold the button, but not too long?
Probably.
Which is, you know, that's me saying it sucks. I'm just trying to, you know, so we, you know, bad controls, you have to...
I have to hold it for like more than
them,
like a half press. But ultimately...
Hey! Yeah. You know, that's awkward, yeah.
What?
You know what, Danny? I don't want to learn how to skate. Look, I tried as a kid. I knew how to do a manual in theory. In practice, I never did, so I'll leave that to more physically capable people. Oh, shit, I forgot what it was. Bipeds.
Oh, I probably can't grind the top of that bench.
Frickin' bipeds.
No. Show me other chapters. Final. Let's see if I can just do this and then be done.
Yeah. Yeah, they're asking quite a lot of you here as well. Be doing these kind of manual multi-grind combos with this like more realistic feel they're going for here.
Wait, they want me to do 4 tricks? I thought they were going to be like ramps and grinds. I thought this would be like a culmination of everything we've learned. But this was more just, hey, do some... I'm trying to like go into a manual. I'm trying to like get like... Oh, I had a 4 times line going there. That technically counted as a combo. I could tell in the top left corner. Oh my... This is fucking trash. Oh, I somehow got it.
Hell yeah.
I guess I didn't need to land the 4 tricks. Oh, but they expect me to do these? No, thank you. That's all right. That's okay, Danny Way. You can fucking keep your grind ADV. You can keep your praise. That was Skate, and it made me irate.
Oh no, the irate skater.
So, we're coming up on time. I do want to keep this as a 3-hour show. Let me just say that some games I intended on playing here included the Assassin's Creed 2007 Gameloft game. We were going to show that for a bit. I had Cooking Mama here. 2008 version of Cooking Mama by way of Twistbox Games. A version of Far Cry 2 by Gameloft. Studio Lakshya did a version of Bioshock. And then Sega themselves even did a House of the Dead. A top-down rail shooter House of the Dead. Don't ask me how that works. In 2011-ish. So there were so many things we cut for time. That's not counting the 30 games I cut for time before we whittled the list down here. So again, this series will continue. We will cover more games and then come up with more excuses to come back to some of these games we want to show off. But for the closer tonight, I want to go with the most audacious game. I want to go with the one that maybe flies a little too close to the sun, from what I can gather, and will set up an era of Capcom mobile games, a format of Capcom mobile games. This is 2008's Devil May Cry. in 3D. There are two versions of the SKU. A lot of
Yeah,
SKUs that would come out in 3D would have a 2D version for lower end phones and a 3D version for higher end phones that could run it. And so I have both those versions, but let's see that 3D version.
Yeah, when I randomly found this in a YouTube search, I was immediately curious because there is surprising amount of the actual main console version represented here than you would expect.
Look at this. Gun attack, arms attack, jump, style, dodge.
Yeah, style button even, yeah.
And I could bind these. I could say
Oh, that's cool.
Gun attack.
Yeah, because we haven't really seen that. Like, it's the most we had were presets, but full rebinding, that's cool.
Let me try it like this. I'm going to assume that the diagonals are like safe keys to bind. Or, you know, fuck it. Let's keep it on default. I don't want to fuck with it too much. Let me start a new game, even though I made some progress. And I can adjust the volume to this. Easy or normal? Let's take it easy. I can't imagine it's controlling particularly well. We have challenge mode. I imagine that's like a bloody arena. And mission mode. You can tell this is DMC3 specifically that this is rooted in. Mission 1, the darkness closing in. Many years ago, the two worlds of the humans and the demons were linked together, allowing the demons to flow into the human world. Even though the link has now gone, Dante hunts the devils that still stalk the human lands. Oh, we got that metal again.
Okay, minus, typos aside, that implied that Dante is the one who sealed the realm. That's not what happened.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Hell yeah. AAA asked if that was a Shadow the Hedgehog branching path chart. Not quite.
Yeah, a lot of Capcom games present in this way. Namely, a lot of the Resident Evils I played, where basically their idea was, we're going to do these as like segmented stages, right? Like a bespoke stage that you can come back to, revisit. And then from like a given stage, there will be like multiple ways you can beat it. Like multiple exits you can take or criteria, and that'll determine what path you go on. You know, that'll be your replay, but as built into.
Okay, so
as you fill out the trees.
Okay, closer to Shadow than I was expecting.
Although Dante had defeated the demons, he felt a strong evil force coming from the doors. What is this? Dante approached the doors to choose his next move. Go through the right or left door.
Oh, it is a branching path. Okay.
Let's go through the right. Why don't we?
Yeah, I thought it was just a mission select. But yeah, from what I can gather, like, some rooms from the main game are rendered here, to the best of this engine's and, the spec capabilities. That is the free hit sword combo. I'd be really curious if you could do the delay variant. I doubt it, but...
I can tell I can do Stinger.
Yeah, you got Stinger.
By holding a direction and
high
attacking.
Time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep, I always forget the name of that one. The Spinny. And yeah, there's the red barriers. They got the orbs. Shredder, that's it, prop shredder, yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out how to roll. Circle, okay.
Oh! And yeah, even a little bit of platforming as well.
That was a secret room with nothing in it.
Yeah. But like, this is even like a kind of crude representation of how the camera worked in Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah, sort of fixed cameras, as it were.
Yeah, I'm Headful Redeem and say something nice. I mean, there is a surprising amount of the combos and moves you can do in the console version represented here. Like, it's way more than I was expecting.
A silver coin from a foreign land. I think I will take the silver coin, thank you very much. I'd be stupid not to.
Is that a Devil May Cry 2 reference?
The door closed. It seemed the door would open if you could collect all of the red orbs.
But yeah, if you try... The delay combo I'm thinking of is attack, delay, attack, attack.
We don't have enough gems or orbs to power anything up yet, but...
Now, speak of Devil May Cry 2, it's all power upgrades.
I can choose between Swordmaster or Gunslinger.
Yeah.
I'll stick with Swordmaster.
Yeah.
I
would be curious. Yeah. We'll have to look at the gun moves next, though. And yeah, this is outside the bar you start in, outside the Devil May Cry store before it has its name.
Just collecting those red orbs, as I've been prescribed
and yeah,
to do.
These are the enemies. But yeah, when you... I assume you're pressing the attack bar multiple times to do the combo, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm guessing no delay combos, but again, with this... But like, yeah, I can tell what enemies these are supposed to be. When I've seen it pre-stream, like these enemy, like there's a variant of them that can like turn into sand and teleport, and it looks very janky, but it is represented here.
Oh, that's enough red orb. Oh wait, okay, yeah. I see what they're going for. I'm picking up what they're laying down.
Yeah. When you
I wanted to get that silver thing.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Secret route open.
Oh, nice.
They said that this was the secret route here, so
that's cool. You could, yeah, but if there's a path you intended to, you can ignore it.
The hidden stairway. You know, let's try Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Only guns we have for right
also,
now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dark in here.
Is that the style button you're pressing there?
I presumably I'm just pressing the button.
It's whatever button was the button that was previously doing the spinny sword move.
Oh, that'd be 7. Yeah. I'm trying that and nothing's happening. Oh, there we go.
There you
I
go.
have to do it in midair.
Yeah. Yeah, rainstorm. Looks a tad more janky.
And I can do this.
It's just there's a lot of moxie on display here. I'm just shocked by like how much of the moveset is here, that the style system is here, and it seems to work mostly as intended. Like the enemy behaviors here.
This is the epitome of janky, though. This fucking thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I assume you could do Helm Split if you use the sword after jumping.
That would be...
Yep, that move. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, the guns don't seem very good, I gotta say.
Yeah, yeah. In Devil May Cry 3, if you pick Gunslinger, you're mostly using the guns to build style. It's not until like the late game where you get the ones that can actually do damage.
Except I can't build style with the guns in this. There's not enough to build up meter.
Yeah. But yeah, well that's the thing. Like even at the start of the game, you have more than.
Also, I can't shoot anymore for some reason.
Oh, weird.
I can't even do my, Did I change styles mid-fight? But that wouldn't account for why I can't shoot at all.
No, well, and I didn't see a button for it. And there's not like a... Yeah, there's no weapon switching, which I'm not surprised about.
Not yet, anyway. There was menus that indicated that we would get different weapons at different points.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I mean like mid-combo swapping.
As he fought the devils, his eyes adjusted to the darkness. He could see his enemy, and as a result was able to destroy them one by one. Let's go into further darkness. This really fucked this thing up.
Yeah, the dark path.
His gunshots light up his surroundings.
Just start stealing candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
Can I power up anything at this point? No.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to. Yeah, they really want you to grind to get the upgrades. And yeah, I've even there, like when they got into iOS stuff, a lot of their games are grindy takes on on their main games. Okay, I know. So we've seen a couple of the different scythe enemies. The color coding is they are different behaviors, and these projectile ones. I'm curious what other we'll see.
I'm trying to get a combo going, but that's harder than it seems.
Yeah.
You know, this is ambitious. This is neat.
Yes.
This is for the Devil May Cry fan in your life, but it's not great to play.
Oh god, they even try to emulate the zoom blurring it does when you go through doors. That's cute.
Damn, I'm gonna get so many red orbs.
God, I feel like this is... Yeah, I can kind of see what areas, like specific rooms, they're trying to...
Emulate the geometry of, the spirit of.
Oh, yeah. Magic's chat saying this is like a PlayStation 1 remake. It's... I wish we had some sort of like 3D system that was like slightly more busted than PlayStation 1 as reference.
3DO.
God, I think well done. The 3DO, I think, in some regards, it's more powerful. I'm trying to think. Maybe like Jaguar CD. Like, yeah, like there's some of the texture work, but definitely like just the choppiness.
This door is closed tight.
You could definitely probably trick someone into thinking, "Oh, this is a fan PS1 remake someone made." But that's a fun thing you see with a lot of, you know, handheld and like downscale takes on games, even from like official developers and publishers, is they would lean into like the older generations as like their kind of like benchmark and style of game.
The evil power is getting stronger. Oh, we had to get an S rank on the previous one to unlock that secret route. Okay.
Yeah.
So I could retry that, but you know, I'd rather get into the brightness. I'm done with this darkness shit. Yeah. I'm done with not being able to see shit on the screen. The hunter who was hunted.
Hell yeah.
With decreased power, defeat all the enemies. You're stripping me of power? I haven't even powered up once yet. Give me a fucking break here.
Yeah. Oh, hey, the spiders. Okay, that's good to see. I was worried there wasn't going to be many enemy types.
Okay, so diminished powers means I had less HP to start with.
Okay.
Which hopefully that's fine.
Yeah. What does the style button do in the air? I want to see if it's the Yeah! I forgot the name of it. But yeah, that's it. The mid-air combo you get with Swordmaster. Though, I like he just looks like he's standing when you do it in this version.
Well, you know, the biggest thing in this game is probably going to be like motion keyframe data, which is probably going to, more than like even like the textures or what have you, having like so many frames of animation. This would be a console, you know, a platform, I should say, where that would really eat into your budget.
Yeah. It's cool, like, the way... Like, I don't know how... If they were just doing it by eyeballing it, but... It does look like the same animation data, just, you know, compressed down to... Like, very low frame rate.
Finally boosted our
Swordmaster boosted, yeah.
He sat on the devils and looked around.
The translation is great. Ooh, secret route.
Stab your sword into the magic circle. Yeah, I just instinctively know to do this. A fatal blow. Are we going to die here? Without being attacked, go to the room designated. Does that mean don't take any damage? Or is this just a walking simulator mission?
I'm gonna say based on this translation. Oh, what? Okay. I wonder what room this is. This might be an original room. That, or maybe it's supposed to be where the Cerberus boss fight is, just very abstracted.
I can just leave. Shit sucks, hit the bricks.
Okay, now this looks like a fucking weird PS1 game.
Oh, I have to kill the enemies here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, one hit kill.
Well, yeah. Because you can't be attacked, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it now. Unfortunately, I understand what they're doing.
It's funny to see early on, they were representing some of the rooms. And then we've got to this point, and they've just kind of said, oh, fuck it, we have to make new ones now. We can only do squares. Yeah, I'm curious if the Swordmaster is just a damage, you know, you got it to level 2, if it's just damage increase, or if you did get any extra moves. Also, yeah, that's funny to see. You got
spinning move.
Yeah, you got a dodge button just at all times. It's just like Devil May Cry 2.
I can get these guys pretty easily. Unfortunately, they're not the ones I actually need to kill. And unfortunately, they also do attack, as opposed to just... There wasn't a block, was there?
No. That would be a specific style when it's... Unless you unlock it later, it wasn't in the list.
Okay, I need to dodge in the middle of that attack. I should practice doing that. Or otherwise, have to end it here. Because of the route I chose.
This action song sounds like a song you would do in Street Fighter 2 when one of the players is at low life.
Wish I could save state here.
In fact, I could swear it just straight up is. Like, yeah, that's a short fucking loop on this one.
Oh, I rolled into someone else's attack.
Yeah. I do appreciate, though, that they seem to have the... Like, the rule about enemies not attacking you if they're off-screen. Something as janky as this, you could expect that to not be represented, but hey.
So I would have to either pick up from that point or start over from the top. But it shows me the spots I've occupied. It would show me, here's the path you took before. So the goal would be, as you replay from the top with your power-ups and such intact, like here, if I go to power-up, I should still have Swordmaster level 2. So, you know, I could, at this point, like, you know, like, oh, that route ended up being...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Combo, help. Yes, you do have drive. Prop shredder. So yeah, you did unlock a move.
And let's see what we have for guns.
Yeah. Oh, charge shot. Yep. Rainstorm.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably when you level it up. It's cool to see they've got drive though, as well.
I can't wait till we get to the Resident Evil ones of these on the show. Those ones are, you know, more my shit. I'm more the Resident Evil fan than I am the Devil May Cry fan. So I'm going to be curious as hell to do the mission-based versions of those. And I've played them. I'm just curious. I want to show them off is more what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what we're getting into with those. But they are cool. In a sense of the word. Goddamn right it's cleared.
But yeah, if this... It's funny to think, because there is now... I forget what it's called. The mobile one they have now. Because it renamed at some point, and they turned it into like a gacha game at some point. Sounds like when it was in beta, it was a better game, and then they completely changed how the gameplay is built, and then built it around like pulling rarity weapons and all that shit.
Many such
If this
cases,
game, like,
unfortunately.
But the way this is structured is like seems like the better game. It's just obviously it plays like a janky like early PS1 game. Sorry,
but a surprising amount of feature parity.
Yeah.
Of combat mechanical parity, I should say.
Yeah. Just wish whoever did the music had maybe wrote a song that was more than. Well,
it's like Lemmy's wrong way
long.
down a one-way street. I mean, it's just perfection in 4 notes. All right, then I could run a path completely parallel to the one I was running before.
And I'm guessing the paths you go down would eventually lead to unlocking different weapons.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
Do we have enough to power anything up? Okay, yes, I can finally do...
Yeah.
Let's see if that manifests. Let's see if that immediately manifests, and then we'll probably have to be done with this.
Okay. Yeah. I can see, though, there's at least two more weapons to unlock for each type. So I'm guessing the shotgun's going to be there. Oh, actually, I think I know what room this... Yeah, this is the Agni and Rudra boss room. That's what this is supposed to be.
Well, that didn't take long. That was it? That's all they gave me time for? Time and damage, S. Orb, C. Yeah, well, you didn't give me time to cook, okay? Yeah, I'd have to get S rank to unlock it, so I would have to retry that mission. Maybe you can grind out this way with your 3 enemies that you need to. You know, maybe it should be a good time to switch to Gunslinger. Who's to say? I'm trying just to build meter here.
Yeah, well, you know, the regular gun attack's not going to really build meter. I will say it doesn't seem like it retains.
Oh, these red enemies keep spawning.
What the guns are supposed to do.
I get it. Okay, so that's the boss over there, basically. And as long as he's alive, these ads will keep spawning in, so I could kill these guys, grind out orbs, I guess, and also get to like a better style rank. Oh, nope. Only so much.
Okay. But it definitely seems like you can finish this room earlier. Because, yeah, there's still enemies alive here.
Sometimes I didn't get a rank this time.
Maybe also because we're playing on easy, it's a bit harder to
build combo.
Yeah. If they've given the enemies, like, way lower health and not scaled the star meter with it.
See, this would put us back on the same route as before.
Yeah.
Interesting. Then I can, you know, don't want to dedicate too much more time or thought to this. Not right now, anyway. Yeah. We can always revisit this.
Yeah, I think that's a good showcase of like how that game's built.
Yeah, and hopefully a good showcase of the sort of evolution of these games over the span of we showcased like 6 years there, 2002 to 2008.
Yeah, humble beginnings to like really pushing what the mobile hardware could do pre-smartphones.
Yes. And believe you me, more games to showcase. More interesting, fascinating stuff even to show off. But for tonight, let's duck out of frame. Only to pop back up, and I can ask you, best and worst of the night. Starting with your best.
Okay. Yeah, just really looking at this. Yeah, I think I'd have to say the Dead Rising game. Just because it seemed to have the most going for it in terms of like representing the game it's based on, but interpreting in a way that makes sense for the platform. At least like in, you know, but still trying to bring so much of it, like the weapon variety, you know, like a decent zombie count on the screen. The presentation was really good and things like that. I'd give it the special mention would be for Ridge Racer, because it did seem to just be a pretty good conversion of what Ridge Racer 1 is, but it's also a conversion of Ridge Racer 1,
Yeah.
which is not much. So,
It'd be like making one of the flagship titles for your handheld gaming platform, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 in the year 2003, paired with Tomb Raider 1 for the PS1. Oh, what's that? Someone did that. Oh.
But yeah, no, Dead Rising legit seemed cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Devil May Cry, just because it was so audacious, and the baked-in route selection and so forth. Like, was it great? No. Did we run into some bullshit with that? Don't take any damage in this level. Yeah, and I mean that's my fault for picking the secret pass, for doing deliberately more difficult stuff. Clearly, like, going down is the way towards harder, gimmickier levels, and going up would have taken us in like the easier direction or whatnot. But the fact that it has that amount of depth to it, the fact that it has those decisions to be made, and is also a fairly ambitious 3D stylish action game facsimile for your fucking feature phone, is worthy of commendation, is worthy of recognition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And possibly worthy of playing, especially if you were a Devil May Cry fan and did not have, a DS, and you didn't have a game for your PSP, I don't think, at this point. So this was the closest you could get to Devil May Cry on the go.
Yeah. I'd have to have hands-on, I think, to give a bit more of a judgment. But yeah, totally fair.
And my honorary mention is going to go to that Splinter Cell we played at the top of the show, that black and white Splinter Cell game. Yeah. Just for the fact that you want to talk about a game pushing right up against the limits of the system, taking this format, this nascent format of phone game, and with all of 2 colors, still managing to convey Splinter Cell on a fucking phone in a 2D form is no small feat. There's a reason why Gameloft were allowed to rest on their laurels past a certain point and just put out the same game over and over again, because they were good at making that game and kind of were from the start by the look of it. So a special shouts out to that. Mm-hmm. Now, worst of the night. I think it comes down to 2 choices, and I'm curious which one you go with.
Yeah. I think it has to be Skate. There are games that maybe play more rudimentary, have less going on. But that's honestly kind of the problem with Skate, is it's trying to do more than, like, I think not just like the hardware, but like the software is doing. Like, Skate is a very technical game. It's all about doing, more minutiae inputs, using the dual stick, and trying to bring an experience like that to phone. Like I said, it seems bad on paper, and this seems like the worst way to execute it. Even if I thought like the art style looked okay, like the actual levels and the sprites, it's just very telling to me that Game Boy Color games that were trying to do skateboarding would kick the hell out of this game released like 5-6 years later.
Yeah, a fair pick.
And yeah, Elder Scrolls 4, it obviously was emulation and dump issues, so I can't hold that against it. It didn't seem great, but like I said, I wouldn't want to
cast aspersions on it without. Yeah. I don't think it's fair to judge that one necessarily either, even though I can guesstimate what that game would look like with functional controls, and I can't see it being particularly great. But we'll withhold judgment, reserve judgment until we've had a better chance, a better experience with it. Which means for me, in my head, it comes down to either Skate or to Marc Ecko's Getting Up. Because Marc Ecko's Getting Up caused the most discussion as to whether or not this game is fucking broken or not, because of the way it chooses to present its graphics and coloring your world in and whatnot. And the fact that it strips that game of the combat so that it is just running around levels collecting paint cans. And by the end of it, you have to collect literally every paint can. And if that's the gameplay loop that goes on in that thing, that sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like the most tedious version of Marc Ecko's Getting Up that I could imagine. That being said, nah, it's Skate. That shit didn't work. That shit straight up was broken junk, trying to cram way too much into that's the example of pushing it too far, of trying to cram too many controls in, but also not nearly enough, because the amount of functions that exist in Skate and trying to replicate all that would have been a straight up impossible feat. But what they did manage to put in there conflicts with one another in such a way as to make the whole experience thoroughly unpleasant to play. And by 2007, this shit should have played better. It wasn't for the J2ME end, being inadequate. It was just focusing too much on presentation and cramming too much in without concern for how it actually played. So that's the obvious pick for me on this one, which means we are unanimous on that front, but we both have different picks for best of the night.
Yeah,
it's fine. Also, Slime corrected me. It's cast aspersions, Cass. I cast a spell of shut the fuck up.
Oh,
that's my roommate, folks. Hey, I think that's gonna do it for this first episode. So it is time for me to say, folks, thanks for tuning into this first episode of A Cup of J2ME. What a tasty cup it was. What a mean mug. I'm eager to get this one out there, see how folk receive it in YouTube land, see if every comment on this video just winds up being, where can I get this game? Where can I get Skate? How can I download Skate for Android? And so on and so forth. And you better believe I will respond to each of them. Every one of those comments we get. I lied. But hey, we hope you enjoyed this look at some Java 2 micro games. We hope you will tune in to future installments in this series as we theme them around more goofier themes and get into some real junk collection. Because, we sort of stack the deck in such a way here tonight to have mostly good games, because most of the AAA publishers who are commissioning these mobile Demakes could afford a Gameloft, could afford a Glue Mobile, could afford studios that were putting in the work. That's not always the case. I don't think the tying games to The Love Guru, to Michael Myers' The Love Guru, was given to the most capable hands, is going to be my fucking guess. So please to consider tuning into future installments in this fresh new series. And hey, you might even tune in to some other episodes on our stream schedule. What do we have ahead of us? What do we have to speak for as far as our schedule? Well, I can tell you this Monday, May 4th, will be a episode of Casual Mondays, as it is every Monday. That's a show where we play not so bad games. And OBS crashed for a second, I thought. It hung for a second and I got real scared. Casual Mondays is a show where we play not so bad games, shoot the shit a little more casually, so on and so forth. A good time is had by all. VODs for that one go up on the Patreon and to our financial backers rather than going up on YouTube, and we'll tell you how to get access to those, how you can support us a little later in this plug. Tuesday, May 5th, nothing on the docket quite yet. It's always something on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. We will figure something out to start on Tuesday. I'm thinking we start a playthrough or do a one-off or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Gotta conserve our theme nights in regular formats. Those have become mostly a weekend thing. So it's good to have this one tossed into the bag that we can mix things up with, that we can have another monthly-esque series we can pull out. But this Tuesday will be some sort of playthrough type deal. And Thursday, May 7th, will be the continuation of our playthrough of Wheelman, which has been a laugh riot so far. I've been having a great time with that, and we hope that you will too if you decide to come along and join us for Vin Diesel's vehicle, starring Vin Diesel, driving vehicles, so on and so forth. Saturday, May 9th, so a week from now, also pending, also not entirely sure at this current juncture. It could be a chance time. It could be a fight night. It could be a Lycan Game extravaganza, where our options are open now, so we can cycle between those formats. Or it could just be we can make up a theme night. Who's to say? You'll have to tune in to find out, I suppose, won't you now? And that's as far ahead into the future as I'm currently able to look, as my powers grant me. So I'll say, hey, If you like what you saw here tonight, consider joining the Discord. That's discord.gg/BGH2F, a community of connoisseurs. Talk good games, bad games, every game in between. You can also talk things that aren't games. Talk about food. Talk about your Taco Bell order. We got a channel for that. It's called Fourth Meal. Or you can join the Bad Game Club, which has a new game for the month of May. And Johnny, if you could tell the folk at home what game you've selected for this month.
Yes, we are playing on the next level for the PlayStation. I don't want to say reboot, but a modern reimagining for the new millennium of Pon, bringing it into the modern age.
People are already befuddled by this one.
Yes,
Early feedback is just, what the fuck is this? Which is always good. That's what we want. That's ideally the reaction I want for the Bad Game Club. So good on you, Johnny. And if that game doesn't strike your fancy, well, we'll have a new game next month for you, right? You know, every month it's a new game that people can, that folk in the community can commiserate over, share their tips and tricks and their evaluations thereof, and so on and so forth. If you really like what you saw here tonight, you might consider financially supporting us. That would be subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, or becoming a member on YouTube, any or all of the above of which will grant you access on that Discord server to a Patreon Saints channel. That is where you can vote in polls to help determine our playthroughs, the likes of Wheelman currently being played, where you can make suggestions to help steer the direction of the show that we evaluate a little more seriously. You can gain access to exclusive content, primarily by way of VODs, primarily by way of the 150 plus hours currently we have of our Casual Monday show archived on there. You can either get those through the Patreon or by requesting access to those episodes in the Patreon Saints channel, and we'll set you up, explain to you how we deliver those. And, you know, there's also, you know, something to be said is the warm, fuzzy feeling you get from supporting independent creators like us. That comes with supporting us. And we hope you feel the warm fuzzies when you do, if you do. We certainly appreciate you. Thank you for helping keep the lights on here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame, enabling us to do goofy series like this, putting them on for the education and entertainment of the audience at home. If you can't financially support us, though, we also completely understand. No worries there. If you're still looking for a way to help the show out, you might consider going to our YouTube channel, finding our suggested viewing playlist. That is 20 handpicked episodes that we think make for some of the best onboarding onto this here show of ours. Fit the show with folk you know, or two folk you know, who might go for video game stream archives in the 3 to 4 hour range. Or maybe you know someone who the last video game they played was on a feature phone. Maybe the last time they engaged with gaming was in the heady year of 2008. They have an iOS. They have an iPhone now. They could just as easily continue playing games on there. But no, they stopped with J2ME. Gaming died with Java for them. Show them this episode. Let them relive those glory days. Let them flash back to the past, so on and so forth. We leave it to your discretion, of course, dear viewer. Whew. All right, who can we raid at current juncture? Yeah, I think I already know. I'm going to send folk the way of Proxy Glitchcat, who has been doing marathons of streaming tonight for their 35th birthday. So send folk that away, friend of the show, so on and so forth. Wish him a happy birthday. Let him know the Bad Game Hall of Fame sent you. So on, so forth. And thank you once more to you folk at home. That will do it for us here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame for a Cup of J2ME, at least for now. I have been Feature Cassidy.
And I've been enjoying a cup of Hot Jones, Johnny Baghead.
Very good. We hope to catch all y'all later down the line. For now, good cup of Joe. Bye.
Toodles!